And I'm recording. I remember to hit the record button on time this time. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the Krieg Dominion. I am Omar Krieg, your Lord and Commander, and your host for tonight's festivities, which will be a one-shot series of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. And I don't have to be the GM. My forever GM title has been temporarily, at least, revoked because I am now in three shows and only currently GMing two. Let me rephrase that. I am a player in three shows and a GM for two, if my math was working out. So I think that means my GM forever thing is revoked. At any rate, I am joined once again by Grimdark James, Fohammer, Darius, and Kane. Let's take a moment or two to check in with these guys, see what's new and exciting for them over the last week, before we blast off into a galaxy far, far away sometime in the recent past. I don't know. Fohammer, what's new for you, my friend?
Hey,
And
I'm
this time
oh
they will remember the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, yes, the first 20-ish minutes will be recalled. Oops, that's not the button. Go ahead, Pohammer. Sorry.
Omar just hit the record button again, so he's got to hit it again, start the recording again, ignore the pause in the middle of the video.
No. Listen, I hit it before I even started talking.
Yeah, so I'm Fohammer. Great to be here. I'm not sure if I mentioned it last time, but I'm a kind of moderate Star Wars fan, so this is kind of new to me. I've never played a Edge of the Empire. Obviously I've seen all the movies, watched shows, read some of the extended universe books and stuff, but I'm not anything what you would consider a Star Wars expert. You know, uh, so yeah, I'm excited to be here. Not too much going on. I just back from Adepticon last week, so that was a great experience. First time I'd ever been there, so lots of Star Wars games going on there, and yeah, that's it. I'm excited to be here. I'm sure we'll talk more about our characters later, but back to you, Omar.
I'll point out, by the way, you did mention it last week, just I didn't record it, that
Yeah.
you're a moderate Star Wars fan.
Okay, clearly I need to hit the button more often. My God.
Yep.
I guess there's worse things I could not be not have lived down. Yeah. So Darius, what's new and exciting for you, my friend?
Well, man, not a whole lot actually. I'm just gaming like usual and reading books and living life.
Sounds pretty chill. And you know what? Knowing how some of our lives can get crazy and hectic, having a chill moment is a wondrous thing to have.
It has definitely been a chill week.
It's always a plus. My week has not been very chill, but we don't need to go into all that. Kane, chill week or no?
Yeah, been pretty chill. Yesterday we almost had a total party wipe in a different game.
Oh my god.
Party of six, two people escaped to try to keep the game running. So we'll see if this one is different.
Where's all my lucky charms?
I am almost afraid to ask, but what game what game is it that you guys almost had this total wipe?
Pathfinder.
Oh, Pathfinder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some would call it
First
the real
or second head.
first or second ed was what he was asking. If you didn't catch it,
Oh, first ed.
yeah,
Excellent.
the real D&D 4.0. Some would say, but I'm not going to go into that one
Well,
because that's
we usually refer to it as
3.75.
3.75.
375. Yeah, there you go. What was that, Darius? We were talking over you for a second there. I missed something.
No, I said the same thing.
Oh, gotcha.
3.75.
I have nothing really. I've had a good day today, so I don't really have a whole lot to point out because it's just a normal. Didn't have anything going on. I got some stuff done, etc., etc. I'm good to go. It's been a good day for me. So I'm gonna throw it over to Grimdark James to talk about himself, and then with no transition, we're gonna literally mid-sentence jump right into Star Wars. Go ahead, James. Take it away.
All right, and look, at least you had a good day. It's all downhill from here now, Omar.
That's what they say, and I don't like that you pointed that out, by the way.
That's it. Thanks for intro. I am Grimdark James. I think we didn't get the true intro last time just because of a recording issue, but you find me on some of Omar's other shows and also on the AP Gaming Reel channel and on my own YouTube channel. Star Wars wise, obviously a big fan of Star Wars. Had a chance to work on two of the movies. and have been involved with the role-playing game since the West End Games system many decades ago. Actually, I never got that involved with Edge of the Empire from a development point of view, but I was heavily involved with FFG at the time with the Warhammer RPGs, and so I had a great chance to work with a lot of the guys or chat with the guys there, like Sam Stewart and Andy Taylor and a lot of the other guys who worked on Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny. So it's a game system that's very close to my heart, having coming out in the same year as I was going to Gen Con every single year. So yeah, I like running the system because it's I think a really fun and unique system. Well, let's get into it then. So you guys have all got characters. We know the background. You've had a chance to read the opening crawl, which we don't get on stream because it includes copyrighted music. But there's two things to do at the start of every single session. One of those things is for me to roll for obligation. And the other thing is for us to create the destiny pool. So I'll do the obligation first. So let me just make sure I've got everyone's obligations here. It looks like Omar hasn't picked his character yet. So in the bottom left-hand corner, Omar, where it's got your name,
Yeah.
right-click on you, go user configuration, and then select the character.
I see. I must have missed that step when I logged in.
Okay, cool. All right, all the codes loaded in. So we've got a 60% chance of getting a obligation trigger. So let's do that now. 74 means no obligation triggered for this first session.
GameMaster privately rolling dice. Never seen that before.
Okay, the next thing is going to be rolling the destiny pool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click request destiny from the players, and you should all then see in the chat a button that says click here to roll for the destiny pool. So I'd like you all to click that button now, and I'll explain the results once they've been rolled.
I'm sorry, I was not paying attention. I had some thing I was looking at. What am I looking for, James? Sorry about that.
In the chat, you should see a button which says click here to roll for the destiny pool.
Oh yes. Oh, I don't know if that's good or not.
So we've got 3 light and we've got 2 dark.
Okay.
So what this means is that the destiny pool is a resource that both of us, like both the players and the GM, can use. The most common way you would use destiny is that when you're making a roll that you're really, really keen to succeed on, you would spend a light side point in order to upgrade the roll. So what upgrading means is that a green dice you would have rolled now becomes a yellow dice, which increases the chance of rolling a triumph and increases the chance of rolling successes. You can only spend the 1 destiny point per dice roll, but you can use that for the upgrade. When you spend a light side point, that point flips and now becomes a dark side point. So right now we're 3 light, 2 dark. If you spend a light side point, it becomes 2 light, 3 dark. Conversely, I can spend dark side points to upgrade the difficulty of your roll. So that means that a purple dice becomes a red dice. And the issue with a red dice is that you can then roll a despair, or there's a higher chance of rolling failure. So let's say, for example, you decided to fire into a melee that one of your friends was in. By default, you're only rolling against purple dice. You'll never roll a despair. But I might think that's a danger enough situation that I'll spend a dark side point, meaning you guys get a light side point, to put a red dice in and give you the chance of hitting your friend with your fusillade of firepower, basically. The other thing you can use destiny points for is you can use them to add narrative elements to the scene. So say, for example, you're in a cantina, you've had to hand your weapons in, a fight breaks out, someone dives over the counter, and you say, I want to spend the destiny point to say that the bartender has a gun under the counter. All right, that's a fair narrative element. So you spend the destiny point, and that becomes part of what's there. It's obviously going to be subject to GM approval, and it can only really affect the current scene. So you can't dive in the car and say, "Oh, he's got the keys there to a brand new starship that we're going to go and take after we get out of this bar fight," for example.
Oh, imagine that! I just spent a point, and there's Han Solo and Chewbacca. Both of them are on our team.
I would like to spend a point so that when we're stopped by security at the door to the cantina, they don't take Trokk's stick.
And you might find things like, I might describe a scene. You'll say, "Oh, James, is this thing here?" And I'll say, "I don't know. For a destiny point, it could be there."
Oh, geez.
Try and tempt you.
Yeah. Well, you can't GM if you're not tempting your players.
That's it. And of course, some abilities require Destiny points to activate as well. Usually higher tier abilities. Nothing you're gonna have it like a 5 or 10 point ability, but yeah, some do require Destiny points. Kane, you run the system too. Is there anything I've missed with Destiny points that's worthwhile going through?
I mean, the only other thing that I think could come up only really affects one of us, and I'm sure we'll get to it when we get to it.
Okay, no worries. All right, so you should all be able to find your character sheets. The good news is that since last week they've updated the module, and you can now scroll all the way down to find Brawlin's knowledge without needing to expand the character box.
You don't have to, you don't have to push extra buttons like F11 to make the browser full screen.
That's right, or just get a real monitor and have a higher resolution. I don't know.
Wow, why would you speak so much truth? See, I have a pretty good monitor. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how it stands against what's normal nowadays. I had added, I think, 2 skills.
Yep.
I want to say it was mechanic and something else like streetwise. But
it was mechanic and it was negotiation.
Okay.
Yeah,
negotiation. That's right.
Because humans get 2 non-class skills and they've been added onto the sheet as well. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. I think that was the only thing I needed to double check.
Yeah.
Not that I doubt you. Just for veracity
Right.
here.
I hope you guys. Can you guys hear the ice cream truck driving past my house? I don't know if you can hear Greensleeves playing on the microphone.
Nope.
Only once when you said green sleeves, I heard very, 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 very faintly some musical tone, but it was like one note.
Okay. Well, the good news is it's in the public domain anyway, so no concern there. Of course, the other thing you should see on the character sheet selection there is a YT-2000 starship, which is of course your group's starship. And I think what it's missing, quite importantly, is a name.
I had suggested Felonious Assault because A, I thought it would be funny. 2, I feel like my character kind of skirts the law a little bit, and then 3, just because it's similar to Feylon's name, and he would, if he had a chance to name a ship, that's probably what he was going to lead with. But I am but one of 4 players, so.
I mean, the only thing I'll say is that, like, when you land with a ship called the Felonious Assault, it does set the tone somewhat. It's like, it's like getting pulled over by a cop when you ring a motorcycle that says "Born to Kill."
Well, yes,
like, it colors the interaction.
It does. But if you have Born to Kill, you have to have a peace button. The dichotomy, the duality of man. That's a Vietnam War movie reference right there.
Yeah.
Somebody remembers a conversation in the half of the movie that people don't seem to remember exists.
the first non-combat half. Oh no, you meant the second half.
Yeah, the second half.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm also of mind that maybe we don't want to have such a super aggressive name to the ship.
Can we just?
I don't mind.
How about
I do like
Felonious?
I think it'd be funny to do a play on the name.
I feel like serendipity would be out playing on your character's name.
If you want more time, it's not that important at the start of the game. So if you guys have not got anything that like leaps to mind, we can leave it as YT-2000 for the moment, because I'm not anticipating we're going space battle heavy at the very start of this game. We need to introduce some systems first.
Yeah.
And the best names are always the ones that are
made up in the moment.
Yeah.
They bring the rust bucket over.
We could always go really egotistical.
Oh God, I'm almost afraid to ask. What do you got?
Kami. It means God.
I mean, that's a way to. That's a thing, yeah. That's, I don't know. That doesn't. I don't know. I just feel like that wouldn't fit with Feylon. But I'm not, as a player,
it also means spirit or essence.
I like doing a play off of Feylon's name. I think that's fun.
Yeah, it is.
That's my vote. We'll come up with a good way to play on the name at some point during the game.
We could call it like the something like an adjective felon.
Yeah, I've got the polymer, the base, and
Nice. It's only I realized this the other day. Someone pointed out to me that I'm running another Star Wars game where the 2 players who made the pilot and the co-pilot of the ship, one called her character True Array, and the other one called her Verse. Verse Oren, and we worked out that their first names and their surnames combined are Traverse and Runaway.
That's clever. That is clever. Oh man. I wish I had thought of something like that. We only barely worked
Just-
out the relationship between Seren and Feylon. Like, and I'm gonna call him Felon by mistake, I'm sure, but we only talked about that in the past few days, or well, the last week.
Yeah. All right, so of course we Star Wars wipe into the opening scene, which of course is the unnamed YT-2000 arriving in orbit over the planet Selakami. Selakami itself, despite the fact that it looked like in the picture you saw a disease-covered world, that's not the case. It's actually quite a beautiful mixed sort of forest and desert world. Historically, it was in the path of constant meteor barrages, so its surface is pockmarked by thousands and thousands of impact craters. Some small enough that you can barely see them. Some large enough that they would have been life-ending events, millennia ago. But the Pantorans, when they explored out from their home world, it was the first planet that they colonized, and one of the first things they did was install orbital defenses to shoot down any incoming meteors. So it is now a corporate haven, a great trading point in the Outer Rim territories, north or galactically north of the Hut regions. And so it's quite a popular place for people to come and do trade, mostly legal. Some illicit trade does also happen. There is a variation of spice which can be manufactured on Selakami as well, which the less scrupulous transporters might transport, but otherwise it is a law-abiding planet, officially part of the Galactic Empire. Although it being this far out in the Outer Rim, you're never going to see a Star Destroyer or TIE fighters hanging around this system. It's probably got a puppet governor who simply just reports back to Coruscant about the major goings on Selakami. So as we see YT-2000 ship come into view, and of course the crew on board the deck, why don't we get a description of each person's character? Why don't we start with you, Omar, since you are piloting the ship?
Well, let me pull up my characters. By the way, James, I want to make note you did have. I laughed my ass off. I'm not gonna lie. Like I sat down after making my comment earlier today about the vote for my character image, and I was like, watch, James is gonna come in and throw the other, vote for the other one. So I will ultimately have to choose my character's appearance or token or what have you. And when I logged on to Foundry, I noticed you had put Pilot Green up.
Well, it looked like everyone had gone with Pilot Green, so I just figured that was the way you were going to go, and I did it. I it's easy to change, and I have changed it since.
Yes,
But,
and I was gonna go with Pilot Purple based on the fact that, not to call anybody out, but somebody didn't vote because there would have been a tie, or it would have been very clearly Pilot Purple. But I tried to choose an image that was similar to what I envisioned of my character, and he kind of does have some resemblance to Han Solo in that one male human looks like any other one male human. Copyright pending. That could be a cool name for the ship. Anyways, dark hair, piercing eyes, rugged looks. Probably looks like he hasn't shaved in a couple of days. Probably looks like he doesn't care about shaving every so often. Slim build, probably, or not slim, but like an average build, probably about 5'10", which is, I think that's something like 1.8 meters, give or take. I don't know exactly how that converts off the top of my head. But other than that, yeah, he just he likes to wear mostly dark-ish browns and blacks for his gear. He's probably got his pistol strapped to his thigh, like any good, respectable pilot smuggler type. Wears a trench coat because why not? You gotta throw a little bit of edginess in there. Probably sleeps with it at night too. It's his blanket. I see you laughing at me, Kate. I've always had this image.
He wears his safety blanket.
Well, I just have this image of a spacefaring person, like a pilot or something, that instead of wearing like a regular jacket and whatever, like over his skin tight spacesuit emergency protection or whatever, he's got this duster. And when he goes to bed at night, maybe he doesn't really have a bed. It's just some slab or something like that, and he uses the duster as a blanket of sorts. Not unlike, I imagine, a lot of cowboys did back in the day.
Leaning hard into the space cowboy vibe here.
I am. Why not? Why not?
Now, in terms of crewing the YT-2000, it does need a crew of two, so it needs a pilot and a co-pilot. On top of that, it has two gun positions. It has a ventral and a dorsal gun. So, presumably, if you're ever in combat, one person's flying, one person's co-piloting, two people are gunning. Assuming that two of you might be better gunners, who would be the co-pilot?
Seren is the co-pilot and mechanic.
Okay, no worries. So why don't we go to Seren next? What Seren looks like?
Seren is a tall woman. She's just over 6 foot tall with white hair and solid white eyes. Wears robes and likes to wear like a heavy hooded cloak when not on the ship. It is otherwise somewhat aloof on the ship with 2 of the crew members, but seems to have some sort of familiarity with Feylon.
Okay. And of course, sitting behind the pilot and co-pilot, let's start with you, Fahana.
So sitting behind the pilot and co-pilot, probably taking up the majority of the room in the cockpit, is my character, Trokk. I believe so it would be pronounced. So Trokk is, and bear with me here, I'm probably going to pronounce a lot of this wrong, but he's Trandoshan. Trandoshan. Okay. So he's I guess what would qualify as a male Trandoshan. He's in the role of a hired gun. Basically, his goal in life is just to do the gonna get a little bit of detail here. His main motivation is to the Trandoshan deity, the scorekeeper. And his oath is to, basically at the end of his life, go before the scorekeeper and, present all the, whatever it is, his successful hunts or whatever. But he interprets that as being his successful jobs, like the things that he's done, whatever he's hired to do, which is usually bashing skulls in. He's very good at that. And he's got he has a small blaster at his hip, but that's not his main focus. His main focus is he has it all times with him. As much a part of him as the duster is of Feylon is his gaffy stick, which I correct me if I'm wrong, but that's something that is part of the culture of the
Tusken Raiders
here. Tusken Raiders. Correct me if I'm wrong, and that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining that's probably something he took as like a trophy in a previous hunt or a previous job. So this is all just to him, just another job, another step on the path until he gets to the scorekeeper and wanting to have that that high score.
So let me ask you a question here, Farmer. So Tusken Raiders themselves do have a hunter culture. So did you take the gaffy stick as a prize from a fallen foe, or were you given the gaffy stick as a sign of respect by a Tusken that you impressed?
That's a great question.
That's a great question. I may have to get back to you on that because that could be an interesting character development there.
Okay. It's a very private thing for Trokk. He hasn't discussed with the rest of the group yet, though, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure there's probably some questions why he has it, if anybody is, at all familiar with, either culture. But yeah, I think that's maybe something that will kind of lead to the side now. And, maybe that's something we can explore, potentially later if it comes up.
That would be premium content if we go from a series of one-shots into a full-blown campaign.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Patreon exclusive.
Yeah,
that's right.
Why not a Patreon? So it would have to be like a DLC moment or something.
Sorry. Only fans exclusive.
I don't have that either. They're paying me to not have an OnlyFans. That's how that works.
All right.
But as far as go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, as far as his role on the ship is concerned, I mean, he's obviously going to be, one of the gunners here. I mean, that he's a hunter, and if he can't get into close combat range and has to, some type of, blaster, or in this case, the gunnery, on the YT-2000, that's his role. He's the, he's hunting potentially the other ships, that are engaged in combat at the time. So that's his role. If he can't get into melee range, he's got to shoot something. That's his role on the ship.
All right. And finally, sitting beside Trokk is our last character. Why don't you go ahead and describe your character, Darius?
Well, his name is Gregor Garuda, and he's a male Dathomirian with red skin. He's got the typical horns that are like in kind of 3 rows. And dresses in typical Dathomirian robes with a heavy cloak over it.
So, as a question for you,
And mostly in red.
So, question for you. So the Empire, well, it's not the Empire, I should say, the Separatists, under the control of the eventual Emperor, wiped out most of the people on Dathomir, because Dathomirians are an offshoot of the Zabrak species. So most people in the universe wouldn't know that Dathomirians are a race unto themselves. You would be seen as a Zabrak. Do you present yourself as a Zabrak, or do you claim to have Dathomirian heritage, knowing that it's a race which the Empire has tried to wipe out?
If somebody calls me a Zabrak, they won't be living very long.
Okay.
Unless there's a reason for them to continue living.
Got some anger issues. Maybe that's why half our crew was killed and the other half managed to talk their way out of it or something.
This used to be an 8-man crew. That's right. All right. So why are we here?
Before we continue, what is the skill used for the gunnery on the ship?
It's a skill called gunnery.
Oh, gunnery.
There's actually a skill called gunnery.
Yep, yeah, gunnery right, is gunnery.
Yep.
So gunnery
it's under the
applies
combat skills.
There it is.
To any vehicle-mounted weapons, or in some cases, some very heavy personal weapons could be classified as gunnery, like heavy repeating blasters. But usually gunnery applies to vehicle-mounted weapons.
Mm.
All right, so why are we here? You're here because you're a group of ne'er-do-wells looking for your place in the Outer Rim, trying to find the money required to keep this ship afloat, or at least flying in the hyperlanes. I don't think any of you are particularly rich right now. I think some of you have literally got 0 credits left. So any port in a storm, looking for a good opportunity. And of course, a good opportunity.
I got 600 left.
Okay, that'll get you a few nights of accommodation and maybe a few meals. But certainly, it's you're not rich, and I'm sure you would all like to be rich, or at least not worry about money going forward. And a good opportunity has actually come its way. There's all sorts of criminal. When I say criminal, I mean extra legal organizations operating.
I was going to say less than legal.
Yeah, operating in the Outer Rim, and one of them is a group called the Zan Consortium. The Zan Consortium, they're traders, smugglers. Sorry, they engage in moving illicit goods of all types around the Outer Rim, and it's actually them that have reached out to you through maybe one of Gregor's bounty hunter contacts. They're looking to hire a group. They feel that whatever it is they want to do is not enough for a single bounty hunter, so that they needed a crew. And they've asked you to come to Selakami. They've offered big money. In fact, they've even said if you just show up and hear about the job, even if you don't take it, we'll pay you each 500 credits. So a nice incentive there.
Well, I suppose I should cover the gas at least.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that the particular job referred to the fact that an Imperial Peacekeeper's certificate is not required. So that's the official license that bounty hunters have. Usually when someone says that the IPKC is not a requirement, it's either because what they're doing is entirely personal, or it is outside of the law. They have no legal fallback to go back on what they can say to the Empire. Yeah, we killed this guy because he's a known criminal, or because he stole this, whatever. But that's the thing to note. It sounds like whatever the reason for this particular job is maybe a bit personal. But the instructions you've got are to head to Shinigami and the capital of Telesema. And when you land there, you've been asked to reach out to a particular comm frequency to a woman named Venlana Sipal, and she will apparently meet with you and provide you with details of the job they're looking to hire you for. So, any
Could you
questions at
repeat
all?
that name, please?
Venlana Sipal. I will type it into the chat in Foundry just so you can
Excellent.
see. There you go.
Venlana support.
Yep. Now, one thing I didn't mention, I should have said during the character descriptions, just a note regarding languages in this setting. There is no skill that denotes how many languages you speak. It's assumed that at the start of the game, every character speaks Galactic Basic. Every character speaks their own language if they're a non-human race, and every character speaks whatever language is required to maintain group communication. So say, for example, you had a Wookiee in the group and Wookiees cannot pronounce Basic. It's assumed that everybody in the group then speaks Shriwook because that way they can actually talk to that player. Although Bosk, the Trandoshan which appears in the original movies, doesn't speak any Basic, it has been established through the Clone Wars that Trandoshans can pronounce Basic. They can learn and speak Basic. So we're going to assume that Trokk can speak Basic. So you can all pronounce Basic. So that would mean that Feylon knows Basic, Gregor knows Basic and Dathomiri, Trokk knows Basic and Trandoshan, Seren knows Basic and Arcanian. If you come across a person that doesn't speak a language you know, and you think your character should know that, maybe that's a good excuse to spend a light side point and say, well, look, surely, I'm a smuggler. Surely I would have learned Huttese. Huttese is a very common language used by criminals and smugglers in the Outer Rim. So, we can talk about that at the time. But just, there is no skill for languages.
James,
it is
pandering for those light side points already.
Yeah, it is plot relevant what languages you speak, basically. So you've arrived in orbit of this planet. If you send off the regular sort of communications requesting landing, you have been given clearance to land at a landing port in Telesema, the capital city of the planet.
Could I try to roll knowledge Outer Rim to see if there's anything unusual or extra I might know about the planet or the capital?
You certainly can. It would be a 2 purple. So in the system, all you need to do is click on the skill name. Click on the dice, I think it is, which pops up. Yeah, that pops up the thing. And once you've set the difficulty, which is by default 2 purple, you can then hit roll.
I should have had that up for the viewers. Shit. Sorry.
That's all right. So Sarah got 1 success, no advantage, no threat. So I would say that interesting facts about Shinigami that most people would know. So it has a extremely hot equator. So the equator of the planet is basically unlivable. The planet's surface is hot, but not unlivable. But it's mostly filled with dense rainforests, jungles. Interesting enough, the part of the region, the part of the world that Telesema is in a part that gets like a 6-month night, 6-month day cycle. So it's like a polar region. And when it's in that night cycle, so it's not 6 months. Sorry, it basically has a period. It has a period where it gets about 40 days of continual darkness. So it's like not right at the pole, but it's certainly in one of those places where at some point it gets like a long period of darkness, a long period of daylight. And during that long period of darkness, the entire city switches over to everyone gets up at 10 p.m. Has dinner at 1 a.m. has lunch at 1 a.m. Works during the night and then sleeps during the day. And right now, that is the cycle that Telesema is in. So it's in that sort of 30 days or 40 days of night flight moment. Probably with only 1 success, there's nothing else I think relevant that would come up for you about this planet. I mean, being Arcanian, that it is well known for medicinal chemicals. Like a lot of the planet's wealth comes from harvesting plant extracts that are used to make medicines and botanicals. But that's more of a personal interest rather than a general interest.
James, I would like to see what I might have been able to do while en route to Silicami. Reference finding out more information about this contact of Vinlana Sapal, the Zan organization, whatever it was.
The Zan Consortium,
Zan
ZANN.
Consortium, thank you. And then anything else I might be able to dig up regarding this potential job.
All
And I
right.
don't know.
So that'd be an
Go ahead.
Underworld roll. Underworld against 2 purple difficulty.
Can I assist him with this?
Yeah. So let's quickly talk about assisting. When you want to assist another player, there are 2 types of assistance. There is skilled assistance and unskilled assistance. The way that your dice pool is determined is by a combination of your attribute plus your skill. So you have your attribute in green dice, and your skill converts that many green dice into yellow dice. When 2 people work together, skilled assistance is where someone has a higher attribute and someone has a higher skill. In which case, the person that's rolling rolls as though they had the combination of the 2, the higher attribute, higher skill. If one person has higher and both the other person doesn't, that's considered unskilled assistance, and that adds a blue dice. So it's just basically an extra, like, brainstorming to see what you can come up with. Often when it's things like perception or just like, do I know or don't I know type thing, you can't assist because it's just either you know it or you don't. But given this is a research topic, I'm happy to say that you can get assistance. So looking at your underworld, it is two green. Gregor's underworld is also 2 green. So whoever's assisting is unassisted, is unskilled. So you'll be rolling 2 green and a blue for the assistance you're getting.
Okay. All right. So make that roll,
So,
and I totally forgot to switch it over again. God damn it! No fail, or I failed. I got an advantage or something on there.
okay, you got 3 advantages.
I did.
Yeah. So looking into the Zan Consortium, using whatever sort of HoloNet access you might have, you only really get their public-facing, legal front, so to speak. What you pick up with your advantage, though, is that Silicami is not one of their regular haunts. It seems unusual that they've called you here if they don't really have a corporate office here. So maybe they've called you here because this is closer to the mark rather than being close to where they're based. The only other thing I'll say from that advantage is that the HoloNet news about them as a legal entity is that they have been suffering problems recently with piracy. They have been raided and had multiple of their legitimate shipments have been captured by pirates.
Okay. I think at some point because I imagine I'm doing this. We've got at least a couple of days en route from wherever we were before, or whatever our last pit stop or what have you was. So I imagine I'm doing some of this research during the transit, and whatever information I find, I'm gonna share with the rest of the crew just so they know. Obviously, Gregor's gonna know some of this because he's assisting me in the first place, but just want to kind of try to keep everybody on the same level as far as information.
Yep. Okay.
You should be prepared for darkness. Taking a look at the charts, I think they're going to be in their capital, at least, is going to be in their period of darkness.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I got these goggles that are probably more for scanning than for seeing.
What are they called?
Scanner goggles? Aptly named,
Yeah,
I might put.
basically night vision goggles is what the scanner goggles are, based on their description.
Let's see. Oh no, they allow the wearer to see normally in darkness. Ah!
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, I misunderstood you. My bad.
And I'm pretty sure Arcanians can see well in the dark, can't they, as well? Arcanians have
we can see in the dark.
They've got those pitch black, shined eyes.
For a pack of 20 cools.
Yeah, Dark Planet, Dark Vision.
The Riddick.
So many references to all the other sci-fi shows out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if Trandoshans can see in the dark or not.
No, but they have a good sense of smell though.
Yeah, so that's actually one thing I was going to elaborate on, just for role-playing purposes. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the Trandoshan homeworld, I had the name of it here. I just was looking.
Don't they live
Dosh.
in the... Oh, never mind. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, it's called Well, actually, it's called Trendosha, or it's simply known as Dosh. Though that's kind of like a temperate jungle forest planet. I'm getting kind of like a similar vibe with this one. Is that kind of in line with what we know about this planet?
Yeah,
James?
this is probably a bit more hot and humid
It's
than
probably more hot.
Trandosha would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it would also this is a sort of place that you would, if you want to just go and hunt native species, it's a perfect planet for that because it would have an abundance of life, and given that like most of the settlements are kept to like small towns or small cities, a lot of it's probably quite predatory as well.
Yeah.
So you don't know what the apex predator on Shinigami is, but you're pretty sure there would be one.
It's it's going to be Trokk once he lands.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's something that Trokk would realize, as we're, coming into, orbit, he would kind of recognize this as being, a somewhat familiar, planet as to his, birth planet. But I think especially once we land, I'm assuming it's, probably like an open air, spaceport or something, it's not like we don't fly into a building and land inside the building, I'm assuming. But
no, you think of like Mos Eisley, where you have like open roofs.
It's kind of like
bays you land in.
So it's open to the environment. Yeah, I think that he would be kind of, I think, anxious to want to, get off the ship. So probably once we land, as soon as whatever type of.
Why don't I even share you a picture so you can see what it
Let
looks
me
like.
let me switch it over to where the people can see.
Yeah, so here, the jungle goes like right up to the edge of the spaceport, and I think he would want to, get off like the ship and kind of he's not in like a hurry, but he kind of comes off the ship, stands at the bottom of the ramp, kind of uses his sense of smell to get a lay of the area, and just kind of kind of say under his breath, just it's like home. And he'll turn back to whoever is maybe on the ship still, maybe at the top of the loading ramp, or coming off the the boarding ramp or whatever, and put his stick up on his shoulder and say, "Let's hunt."
Easy, big guy. We just got here. We still gotta make sure that the dock port people have their money and stuff. I almost said a word that probably wouldn't be said in Star Wars.
Yes, I mean, look, the spaceport itself. So the spaceport is easily 40% of this city. The city is built to sustain the spaceport pretty much, and there are ships coming and going at all times. Like I know we talk about this being in the night cycle, but it's not that much darker than a regular night on Earth. So and with the lights of the city, you're not walking around in pitch black. Pantorans don't see in the dark, so they need light to function too. But you put the ship down in a landing bay. I think probably by the time the ramp has come down, there's already a group of Ugnaughts out running around the outside of the ship, pointing out in their own language
James,
defects or damage they can
it's
see.
the soundtrack. He started some soundtrack stuff in the background. If anybody didn't catch that, it threw me off too. I was like, "What the hell?"
Okay, yeah, because I keep hearing it, but it's just like low enough. I didn't know what it was, and I got my headphones on, so I'm kind of like.
Well, I just noticed. I think Darius is not wearing a headset, so he's like, "What is that sound, and why does it look like it's coming from in front of the monitor?"
Yeah.
Thank you to Tabletop Audio for the royalty-free audio we're using here in the show so far. So check out tabletopaudio.com for your RPG audio needs.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, especially with the headset on. I mean, it's going back and forth. There's a lot of ambient sound there. So yeah, it sounds great.
I've used it before too. But anyway, sorry, I wanted to interrupt because I saw Darius starting to do some deciphering.
So a group of Ugnaughts that work at the spaceport are already like running around the outside of the ship, grunting at each other, clearly pointing out things that they can offer to fix for money. They're carrying little tool bags, and one of them comes up. One of them approaches you, or one of them approaches whoever looks like they're, I guess, the one in charge. Maybe the human, I don't know, or the.
Well, I was gonna say that since Trokk was probably like the first one off the ship, I imagine probably one of them would approach him first, which would be a mistake. Are these just like little droids or something?
No, the
or-
No, no,
Ugnaughts, the
these
little
are
pig face. It's
little pig face men.
Oh,
God,
the-
what's his?
okay,
What
okay.
was his? What was that dude in Mandalorian? That I have
Can't remember his name,
spoken.
yeah. I have spoken. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was played
Will
by
or something like
by,
Quill
by,
or something
by
like
Nick Nolte. Yeah.
Okay, so I imagine probably one of them would come up just because Trokk was like first off the ship, and he's the biggest guy, and I don't know, maybe he's never seen a Trandoshan before, but maybe he comes up to him and gets within that that melee range, and just kind of Trokk will just give him like a shove back, like like personal space type thing,
Yeah,
kind of
this,
like
this is
hiss
my
at him.
dance space. This is your dance space.
Yes, that's right. Just kind of hiss at him.
Easy, Charles. Don't eat the locals. We're not here for that. Jeez, man.
Right.
I'm just gonna look over
Okay.
it, and then I'm gonna look over at Gregor and be like, "Can you get your guy under control? He's already out there bothering the hell. Come on."
Who said he was my guy?
He came with you. You know what? I'm not having this conversation right now. I'm just gonna go and make sure they don't break something that don't need to be fixed.
He's my
Oh.
partner.
I'll walk over to one of the Ugnaughts and reach out for a pad of things that they're going to offer.
Yeah, so they don't seem to speak basic, but he does tap away at like a little data pad, and like a thermal receipt, like sort of rolls out of the top of it. And I'm gonna say it's a receipt. It's not a receipt. It's it's an invoice of things that they would expect to do. And it basically just lists off things like cleaning the ship, refueling the ship. The only thing that you really have to worry about is there is a 75 credit a day fee to park the ship here, basically. But everything else that they're offering you is like you know enough about Ugnaughts to know that it's they want to charge 100 credits to wipe your windows.
Oh
Basically.
yeah, wipe it. Yeah.
I do call out to Seren. I say, make sure all they do is fill up the gas.
Put him in charge of my shit. Listen, gas and maybe the cockpit windows, but nothing else. Like I need to be able to see clearly.
Replace your headlight fluid.
No, we're good. We don't have headlight fluid.
But
Probably don't even have
Seren
headlights.
like body language and everything is very clearly ignoring all the people behind her trying to talk to her while she's looking at this Ugnaught.
Drex, you can lock the cockpit windows yourself.
Do
You watch the windows.
I get the sense that this is like they have like officially work here? This isn't just a group of people walking up trying to take my money.
So they are.
Like if I
They
give them
work-
the docking fee, am I actually paying a docking fee?
Yeah. So they
Seems like a
work
valid
here
question to ask.
They work here insofar as they are the employees who would be refueling and looking after what you get for the 75 credits. Everything above the 75 credits is their side hustle.
Okay.
Like it's their job to put out the refueling hose, refuel, and replace any stuff that would be part of a standard docking fee. Anything else is what they're offering.
Let's go.
Okay. So aside from the 75 credits to park, how much are they charging for a refuel?
So the refuel is covered by the docking fee, basically. So it's assumed that when you dock, it only takes a very short time to refuel the ship, and
Okay.
part of the docking includes that. So you're like the ship will be ready to go again within about 2 or 3 hours, if you need to
Oh,
leave
man, it'll
quickly.
wreck you. That's why I also like doing it to the
What's the
things, too,
cheapest
they're
thing on the
flying
list
over,
of
you feel like
side
after it's so
hustles that
quick,
they have on here?
It does 6 times damage to flyers.
Probably like just some sort of
so
degreasing of external working parts for say 50 credits.
People in their
Okay.
tanks.
I'll look back at Gregor and say it's 125 credits to park.
Danger, right?
and
Road
pull that
trips
a
get
hand.
soaker, and we're like, well, that's why I do only the ones that are written.
Hey, you got
Since we know you have all the money,
Am I going
nobody else
crazy?
can even pay the
Well,
docking fees. So.
Normally you pay when you leave, and the ship is locked down by magnetic clamps, and you have to pay. So if you're there for 5 days, you pay 5 days worth. You don't pay each day up front as such.
Then I'll look at the receipt and I'll point at the cleaning service.
Okay. So the one Ugnaught yells
some drones.
in his own language to the others, who sort of like do this sort of like hung look like, oh, that's the job I really hate.
Oh, they
And they go and start getting rags and spray bottles and ladders to start working on degreasing the ship's working components.
Oh, it's okay. They can make more. I put the Fiumi on the thing then.
Yeah, and once I
like,
tap it and turn around, I'll look back at Feylon.
Had a ton of stuff in it, but it didn't.
Have you tried to contact our
No, I didn't have.
supply?
I'm just
I
filling it with poop now.
have not. I wanted to get down here before the lizard ate people. but I think we're good now. So let me hop back up in the cockpit
I'll-
and see if we
go
can't
ahead
get a
and
hold of
call him
anybody.
right now.
Fair concern.
I
I'll
mean,
just
you
call
can do
him right now from my
yeah,
earpiece.
handheld. Yeah, or earpiece. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
there you go.
it's a local frequency you've got. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
gonna need a little bit more power than that or not.
no, that's fine.
No,
Well, assuming they're within 10 kilometers. 10
Oh,
kilometers is
yeah,
very
yeah,
good,
that's city range. Yeah, I could just.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
so
So when you
I'm making the call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah.
Feylon is definitely
Um,
like, oh no, I'm good. You make the call, and you wash the windows, you son of a gun.
all right, a relatively pleasant female voice answers the line. Hello.
Hello, is this? Hold on a second. Is this Vinlana Sipala?
Yes, yes, you must be our troubleshooters. Is that right? Welcome to Silicami.
Yes, that would be correct.
Look, I look forward to meeting with you. You're on planet now, eh? I assume you are if you're using the comm link.
Yes, we just landed.
All right. If you can give me an hour, I'll book a private conference room at a cantina called the Paradise on the edge of the starport. Meet me there, and I'll run you through the employment we're hoping to offer. Thank you so much for coming at short notice. I do appreciate it, and of course, I have your retainer here as well.
Excellent. Look forward to seeing you. And I will hang up.
Well, that sounds like a positive phone call. I don't know if it would be. I don't know if they'd say phone call. That sounded like a good comms. What are we talking about here? What's going on?
So there's a place named Paradise. It's a cantina nearby.
Every
He
starport
said
has
to
one of
meet
those
us there in
kinds of.
an hour.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like every starport in the galaxy has a cantina named Paradise. If it's not a cantina, it's something else. I'll leave that out. All right. An hour, you
but
said?
yeah, she has our retainer with her, and she'll be there in a private conference room.
Ooh, a private meeting with a mysterious woman. Nothing could ever go wrong.
Yeah, well,
Seren
I'd rather be
snorts.
private than public.
You're just as mysterious too, Seren. Calm down.
So Trokk will be standing there just listening to the little
The little
people,
people.
talk. And he's just kind of, picking up the important words, and then, he'll just say, paradise, drawing out the S and like a lizard, hunt.
Why does when he says paradise, it sounds like he's talking about two dice, not a heavenly place?
No, anytime he speaks about anything, it sounds a bit menacing, don't you think?
It's that lisp. And when he says that specifically because it's clearly not a lisp. It's just a hiss because he's a lizard. But if you haven't noticed, Phelan's a bit of a smartass.
What do you say, dice? He'll make some kind of, quasi religious thing and say skulls.
God. Wow, Pho. Wow. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we should go figure out where this place is and, I don't know, maybe take a look around for, any ne'er-do-wells that might get in the way. James, is there like a, I guess, streetwise or recon-ish kind of role I can make and figure out where we got to go and keep an eye out for, like, local hoodlums that might give us grief?
Yeah, well, okay, so first off, what I'll say is as you leave the docking bay itself, there's a couple of armed security droids at the doorway who are like guarding the docking bay from the outside. And one of them sort of turns and regards you in a way that you can clearly tell you're being scanned. And your expectation probably here is that they've established that the four of you are from this ship, and that nobody that's not the four of you should be allowed, therefore, into this docking bay. But the four of you can come and go freely.
Oh, and in that case, I will definitely give him the two-finger toss to the security as we walk by. I'd be like, right, keep an eye out for us. Don't let anybody touch our stuff.
Yeah.
Trokk giving a menacing smile as he goes past.
Grimdark.
Yes.
What would be the typical bribe to make sure that our stuff remains untouched?
A
I mean-
financial inducement is the word you're looking for, by the way.
Not much you can do with the droid. The droids are, they're programmed by the spaceport control. So if you wanted something, above and beyond the service you're getting along official channels, you would need to try and bribe whoever's sent the droids. But the droids themselves, they're not conversive. They are merely combat platforms designed to guard.
It's just a droid that's scanning us, not a person.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
It doesn't matter. Trokk will still hiss at the droid.
Yeah, I think I have a default security droid artwork. There you go.
As Gregor passes by, he will give a nod to the droid.
Oh, he definitely looks like he's got machine guns on his cheeks. Is that a droid or is that a battle mech? Come on.
All right, you wanted to make a streetwise roll.
Yeah, something because
get-
because what I want to do is try to figure out where exactly we got to go, but also I want to keep at least a half a keen eye out for local gangs or hoodlums or whatever that might get in the way.
Yep, give me a streetwise at 2 purple, please.
Streetwise at 2.
I would like to make this as well.
Sure.
Or, I mean, assist him.
Oh, I can re-roll that if we need to.
Well, no, what you can do is you can just click on the down on the bottom of the chat where it says public roll. You should see a little dice next to that.
Are you talking to me or for Darius?
Yeah, to you. Yep, to you. Down the bottom where the chat window is, down the very bottom right hand corner. You see there's a dice next to where it says public roll.
It gives up the roll dialogue.
Yep. Yeah, click on that. Just roll 1 blue, and we'll just note to add whatever it is.
Alright,
Okay, so you're
that's
going
an
to total
extra
of 3
success.
success.
But there's
and
some
2
threat in there. That doesn't look good.
Yep. Okay, so I'll talk about the success first, and we'll talk about what the threat means.
Okay.
Walking around here, like this is once again, this is a spaceport for a city which is seeing 24-hour-a-day trade.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very, very busy. And I said the spaceport is like 40% of the city. So whatever you would need here, hotels, food, cantinas, entertainment, it's all in the spaceport. You don't even need to leave the spaceport in order to go and do most of the stuff you would do when you're on the planet. And indeed, you find like an info terminal where you can find where Paradise is. Paradise, as I mentioned, is on the very edge of the spaceport. So you're going to have to spend probably 45 of your 60 minutes just getting there at least.
Okay.
Now
We
you do pick up.
We can't rent a speeder or something?
I mean, you could, but I mean, it's like the spaceport's designed to walk around, and with the amount of foot traffic that's here, a speeder's not going to give you much more speed because you haven't really got roadways to benefit from the speed. You'd just be sort of like pushing your way through the people with a small car, basically.
It's the equivalent of the.
That depends on the speeder. Some of them can actually go a little higher than person level.
An airspeeder versus land speeder. There are no airspeeders anywhere that you've seen so far to rent at this part of the. We're talking more like about like little sort of ground skiffs, what you could rent, almost like four person.
I'm thinking like any
segways.
busy European or Asian city with lots and lots of people, and yet there's that one dude with a bicycle trying to get through, or a bicycle or a moped or something.
Well, it's
like probably the largest you would see is like the equivalent of like one of the little airport shuttles that they use in like the terminals and stuff.
Like a little golf cart. Something.
Yeah, which don't go very. They probably could go faster, but they can't because there's so much foot traffic around. They have to beep beep.
Yeah, it's more covers mobility than it covers speed. Now you do notice that there are definitely signs of gangs here. So you pick it up from graffiti on walls, from seeing groups of young teenage Pantorans who are clearly not spaceport workers hanging around, catcalling people walking by, or smoking some sort of death stick equivalent, and you pick up multiple different gangs by their colorations of their clothing and their symbols and such, and a lot of them do carry basic blaster pistols or vibro knives. Vibro knives seem quite common here as well. Like you don't see any sort of outright gang violence, but you get the impression that gangs do have a relatively important part of the function of this thing, and so therefore, crime, while they've done a good job of keeping it not obvious, basic things like pickpocketing, it probably maybe even like protection rackets for some of these stores might not be uncommon on the planet. So then we come
I would
to the
like
threat.
to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You finish your thought.
All right, so just because you and Gregor are working together, I'm going to split the threat between you and just say that you each pick up one strain, and that's just like the stress of realizing that this place is not as safe as it first appeared. So strain and wounds in the system, they count up rather than down. So you'll see on your character sheet, for example, that you have, if you look at Feylon, you've got a strain threshold of 12 and a current now of 1.
Yeah, I just
So it counts up until you hit 12, in which case you pass out.
Okay.
Likewise, same with wounds.
My strain is not 12.
Yours is 15, so now you've got put 1 in your current though. So you've taken 1 strain of your total of 15.
So strain is like
okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize he was going to ask something.
No, I said okay.
Oh, my bad. So strain is kind of like I think we talked about it briefly last week, but it's kind of like mental stress, mental anguish, mental breakdown. Not breakdown, but like the things are weighing on you in a metaphysical, not an actual physical way. Is that fairly accurate?
That's true. Yeah, it is a stress thing, and I always remember when I used to go to the events where they'd explain the system during the early Gen Cons. They'd say like the fact that you pass out due to strain often has to fit with the narrative. Like, say for example, you're in the middle of a important political situation where you're trying to like broker an agreement between two factions, and you use your last point of strain. You don't just pass out at the negotiation table, but it's like you have to remove yourself from the scene because you're just like too stressed. I need to get away and take a break. So, yeah. But when it's like combat inflicted strain, which is done by things like weapons on stun settings, that will then make you pass out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry, did you say that we take a point of strain?
No, just me and...
only Gregor and Feylon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I want to do just kind of like fit with the narrative as we're walking to the paradise, and can everyone see like the gang signs and the gang members and stuff like that?
I don't think they're obvious unless Feylon or Gregor point them out.
Well, I will definitely point
I was
them
gonna say
out
I think
to
I will at
our
least mention.
friends.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely at least mention that there are gangs and other concerns actually pretty close to us too, from the sounds of it. Pointing at like one group of teenagers that are doing nothing but talking smack to some other group.
And one thing that I would kind of like
be walking with one hand on my sword.
One thing that I was going to do is that I think Trokk, even though he might not necessarily be aware of like the gangs and maybe associate them with gangs, he would absolutely, I think, be aware, and this would be a role too, but I think he would absolutely be aware of who the tough guys are, if nothing else than just physically how they're represented on the street as we
I think that definitely falls within Trokk, and his hunter thing is like, who is the bigger.
And that's what I was kind of getting at.
Yeah.
This is him sizing up the competition.
Yeah.
They're flexing on each other, is basically what. I mean, as we're walking past, he'll probably single out, like the whoever the enforcer or the tough guy is of whatever gang they're walking by, and make eye contact with them, and as they're walking past, kind of turn around as they're walking backwards and be like, doing whatever,
You want to make a coercion roll?
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that
oh god, Trokk's going to get us into a fight. We haven't even left the damn starport yet.
Well, hold on. I would like to
coercion?
Say could I help? Could I assist Trokk without telling him I'm assisting him? Sort of like while he's doing his like arms out, Seren's just walking behind him, looking at the same people, just glaring.
So you don't do it. He's crazy. Look,
Yeah. Could I assist by doing something like
He's
that?
going like.
So this is skilled assistance. So because Seren has a higher willpower than Trokk, you use Seren's willpower and Trokk's coercion skill. So what you'll do, FOMO, is you'll click on the dice next to coercion to bring it up.
Okay.
But you'll need to add an extra green dice for what Seren's doing. But you're rolling it again.
Sorry, would there be any benefit to more than one person assisting?
Yeah, because you can also then add the blue. So the most you can get a skilled assistance and an unskilled. So if you assist 2, that means he'll add a green, he'll add a blue, but because he's rolling against their cool, he's got to replace one of the purples with a red. So your total pool in the end should be a yellow, 3 green, a blue, versus 1 purple, 1 red.
Okay, so I got 1 yellow, 2 green,
Add an extra green, so it's 3 green.
3 green.
Yeah, add a blue.
Add a blue.
Yep.
And
remove
then just hit roll. Oh,
you
remove a purple?
And replace it with a red.
Whoops, hang on. How do I remove?
Right click. Remove.
Oh, right click. There we go. Okay. All right. And
So
then
1 purple,
add
1 red.
1 purple,
And
1
okay.
red.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so just to clarify, 1 yellow, 3 green, 1 red, 1 purple, 1 blue.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, just for, I mean, this is just Trokk, getting a sense of, who the big dogs are, trying to establish, his, place of dominance here. So here we go.
Yeah. All right. So 3 success, 1 advantage. Certainly, you get the impression that you have cowed these guys. And that's the thing is Trokk understands, dangerous people. These are not dangerous people. Their strength comes from their numbers.
Mhm.
Individually, none of these guys are punks. But whatever the case is, it's clear that their numbers do not equal. The 10 of them don't equal 1 of you, and they know it basically.
Okay.
By the way I was assisting is I was glaring at the same people with my own crazy eyes.
Okay. So what we're going to do with that 1 advantage is just because your group is sort of slightly boosted by this show of strength. So the next time any one of you makes a roll, you'll add a blue boost dice to it. Basically, just you guys are on just like a little sort of a little high of that success.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So after a time, you find your way to the paradise. The paradise is I don't know how you think of like the sort of dimly lit clubs you might go into where people have hookahs, like the smoking bar sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's there's music playing, but it's dimly lit. A lot of the sort of there's booths rather than like tables in the middle. There's a stage where there's a couple of Pantoran girls doing, just not a provocative dance, just an entertainment dance as such, and a bit of music playing. There's a bar with a human serving. But other than that, it looks like any sort of dingy smoking bar you might find anywhere in the galaxy. When the 4 of you walk in, you do notice like a Trokk male who was standing to one side watching the door, who sort of clearly takes note of the 4 of you and starts to approach.
Now step forward and say, "What can I do for you?"
I'm gonna put a hand on probably because I imagine Trokk is significantly taller than Feylon. He's gonna try to put a hand on his shoulder, but he doesn't want to do one of these. Like he's got to reach way up, so it's probably gonna look more like he's trying to put his hand on on the forearm. But then he doesn't realize it's his forearm right away.
Yeah. What I will say about this Trokk is that Trokks are not normally a big race. They're not given towards feats of strength. But this Trokk is actually. Yeah, he does his time in the gym. He probably does CrossFit. He's not like.
There's no problem with James. Muscle. He would tell us if he did CrossFit.
Yeah, he's not gold skinned, but yellow skinned Trokk. But he's certainly got some muscle and some physical presence about him as well. He's not just the typical sort of Trokk slave chump that you're used to.
He's going now in my notes as yellow skinned Twi'lek gym guy.
I say he's the Swolek.
Amazing.
I was gonna say, is his name Muscle Milk?
You've come to see Feylon, yes?
That's correct.
I'll take you to her. Follow me.
Lead the way.
Look, can I at least get a smoke first? I wanted to grab one of the whatever they're smoking. I wanted to get some. Ooh, is that a cigar?
Well, he doesn't stop. He keeps walking. He goes beside the bar is it's like a metal door, like not quite blast door level, but certainly not the sort of door that you could just easily kick your way through. And the door slides open to reveal a like a private bar area. So imagine when you hire a room at a bar where it's got its own little private bar and its own private seating area. And there's no one else in there. Like even the bar is untended right now as you walk in. And sitting sort of luxuriating on one of the long lounges. She's probably got like a chaise longue that sort of sticks out from the lounge. She's reclining on. Is a woman who looks like, where's my picture of her? Like this.
And that, by the way, for those that don't know, is a Pantoran.
Yes.
Basically,
Blue skin human.
Yeah, basically a blue human.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which George Lucas actually cameoed as a Pantoran in episode 2.
Did he really?
He did. Yeah, one of the Pantorans at the Senate chamber. He cameoed as.
Huh.
Venlana, I presume.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't get your names. Please have a seat.
I'm Gregor. This is
Trokk.
Feylon.
Trokk is the word he's naming, or just lizard.
this
as
is
I like.
Feylon. This is Seren, and this is Trokk.
I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna go to shake her hand, and I am going to have the cheesiest. Well, he's gonna try to have a serious but big happy face. It's probably gonna look more cheesy, suck-up-y, because he doesn't exactly know how to interface with normal human beings. Well, I guess
You could
normal
try to roll
Pantoran
charm.
beings.
You could try to roll charm and see how we pull it off or not.
I love that idea, actually.
Okay, so you're rolling charm against her discipline, which means you're rolling against 3 purple.
3 purple. Okay, and I was kind of blanking on something else. You said we get like an extra die or something.
Yeah, so you're the first to roll. You get a blue boost dice because your charm is enhanced by the fact that you are with a tough Trandoshan.
Yeah, I forgot to switch it over. Too. 1 success, but 1 threat. Oh, I don't know how that's going to turn out.
Okay, no worries. So, I mean, she like politely smiles. Like you get the impression that you have, you have. Wouldn't say impressed her. More so as like she is reciprocal towards that advance. But by the same token, I'm going to give you one more strain because the glint you get in her eye is it's like okay, she likes you, but in the same way a predator likes a prey.
I'm an easy mark. That's what I just forgot.
He's the dom in this one.
Yeah.
Jeez, just trying to make a good impression here.
Oh, you made a good impression. She will definitely eat you later.
Yeah, that's not the impression I wanted to go for, James. But here we are. I think yeah, he'll reach out to shake her hand and introduce himself. And I'm Feylon, and he said everybody's names, but you got a job for us, is what I'm hearing. And then he's gonna try to like politely find a way to back off of her handshake distance and find a spot and maybe a cigar or something, because now he really wants a cigar.
Yeah, well, they do have like there are hookahs and that sort of in here, like a little wooden tray that has some different cigars on it. Yeah, so.
Jesus,
Just one thing that I want to point out is that while the little people are talking, I think she said said that take a seat or whatever introductions, whatever. Trokk will purposely make a point of not sitting. He's going to find a place to stand in the room. Probably out of the way. Like he's not like standing like he's trying to intimidate. One, he's trying to like stand out of the way. He knows that this isn't like his like moment, but he purposely is standing there as kind of like a I don't want to say like a veiled threat, but just he's standing there to be ready. This is not his foray. He's not good with the the big words. But
words.
He's good with the big stick, and he just wants to be ready. He's not like prepared to fight, but that's what he's doing. He's removing himself from the social situation and just waiting until there's something for him to do.
Whereas I'm sitting down and taking a long drag on one of the hookahs.
Yeah. The toilet sort of falls in like just behind the lounge she's on, like in a bodyguard position, and she looks at him and is like, "Porral, please, we have guests. Be a sweetheart enough for these fine gentlemen and lady something to drink."
Yeah, we You gotta think. God, I'm trying to think of a good Star Wars drink that isn't entirely alcohol. Like,
Blue milk.
no, I didn't want blue milk because that sounds like a kid. That sounds like a kiddie menu.
No, it's a tragedy. That's what it is.
He goes and gets like a tray of miscellaneous clear shots basically.
Oh, I'll definitely do a shot.
Yeah.
Whatever the Star Wars equivalent of the
Your
PPC
shot?
is.
Must not be very strong.
They're probably called
Yeah.
blaster bolts or something.
Blaster bolts. Oh my god.
Well, I know what they're not called, and that's a PPC.
That's it. Now we should get to business. I would love to chat more, but I am a little bit busy, so I'll get straight to the point. You do come highly recommended, and so I'm really hoping that you can help us out here. As you probably know, I represent an institution called the Zan Consortium. We operate various trade lanes in this area, and of late, we have found ourselves under the predation of a particular pirate group that calls themselves the Veiled Sorority. Now, normally, it's not piracy is not unheard of in this part of the Outer Rim, but they seem to be targeting our shipments quite a lot. We've had 4 shipments lost to them in as few as 3 weeks. And
Do you know if they've been targeting anybody else?
I don't know, but what I can say is I don't know of anybody else they've targeted. So either they've only targeted us, or I'm not aware of someone else that they have targeted. Now,
All right.
their modus operandi is unusual. They basically will approach a ship. They will threaten them that if they surrender, that everyone will be left to go free, and if they fight back, then everyone will be killed. And so far, they have kept to those words. Where our ships defended themselves, they were killed to the man. Where they surrendered, they were put off in escape pods and our ships were taken. Not that those particular employees remained with the consortium post their abandonment of their duties in any case, but that's neither here nor there. What we have learned about the Veiled Sorority is that they are led by a woman who calls herself the Pirate Queen. And we have come to believe that they have a base of operations somewhere here on Selakami. Somewhere here that indeed the Pirate Queen may be currently in situ based upon what my contacts have told me. Should you agree to our contract, your responsibility is to bring her here to our justice, dead or alive, with proof that it is indeed the Queen we're after that you have captured. That is the extent of it. We're not looking for you to wipe out the sorority, simply to bring their leader to heel so that we can see this matter done with.
James, what'd you say the name of the Pirate Queen? Or was it just Pirate Queen? We don't have a name.
She calls herself the Pirate Queen. That's it.
Okay. I think Feylon, as he's puffing on what he wishes was a cigar, but only a hookah at this point, and sips on whatever the drink is that he can get his hands on. I think he's just gonna look around and be like, well, if we can find this lady and bring her in, I don't see a problem with any of this. The problem I do see is she's not alone. It seems like she's got a large group of people that are sufficiently skilled and geared to take down your people.
Indeed, and this is why we thought it best to try and hire a group rather than just an individual. And I understand the Zan Consortium fully understands that each and every one of you will require fair compensation for what will likely be a dangerous bounty. And so we are prepared to compensate you well if you are willing to take the role.
All right.
Seren is going to elbow Feylon and make a small hand gesture for like money. Just
Yes.
go talk
Yeah.
about the money.
Yes.
So how much are we talking?
We're prepared to offer each member of your crew 10,000 credits for the successful completion of the contract, minus the 500 credit retainer that, she sort of slides a group of credit chips across the table for them, that you effectively already been paid.
I go ahead and grab them and pass them out to the other 3.
Should your performance be exceptional, there may be a variety of other bonuses that could be applied to your final compensation.
I don't know how to negotiate. I have watched Grimdark James both be a negotiator to some extent and roleplay a
Well,
negotiator.
the good news is that there's a skill called negotiation.
Yes. So what I'm
So
going
you
to
don't
do
have
is,
to be good. Only your character does.
yes, I am going to ask for some form of increase up front, some form, trying to get some sort of better numbers. My character, of course, will say something perhaps a little cocky, but definitely witty, and I'm gonna make
I
this
have a-
roll here.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Given how like abrasively in front Gregor has been so far, would he even allow this? Or would he see this as a snub on his self-assumed authority?
Ooh, good question. Would he allow me to step up and be like, "Hey, pay us more, please"?
No, he'd allow it.
Yeah, he's got to know that that Feylon's a confident negotiator.
I love your confidence in my character that I don't have confidence in negotiation. All right, I got 1 proficiency, 2 ability, 2 difficulty. Do I got anything else to throw in
No,
here?
the difficulty is actually
Oh, dear.
it's against her negotiation, so it is 3 red and 1 purple.
Oh dear. Okay, 1 purple,
Seren-
3 red. You said.
And I assume I am giving him a boost on this.
Yep,
I
you
will
can
take
someone give
all the
assistant for it.
boosts you guys can give me.
We gave you a boost. I think that's it.
Okay. Well, okay. So I got 1 yellow, 2 green, 3 red, 1 purple. Am I missing anything?
That's correct. That's everything.
All right. Here.
3 red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Did you roll the blue?
No, you can just roll a single blue dice on its own.
Sorry. That maybe changes something.
That's going to give you some
Oh, yeah.
advantage at least.
Okay. All right. So we get some bonuses on the back end. That's what I'm
Okay. So,
So actually, that would be 1 advantage, right?
no, because there was no threat. So advantage cancels threat. Successes cancel failure, vice versa. Yeah. So your net result will be 1 failure, 1 despair, 2 advantage.
Okay.
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 To make it easier, think of despairs as critical failures and triumphs as critical successes.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it. And then the advantages and is it disadvantages that counters advantages?
Advantage and threat.
Threat. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just call those like bonuses / malices.
Okay. So for the failure, you haven't managed to get her to change the overall payment, like the 10,000 per sticks, because that's actually quite a high bounty for a single person. Even though there is danger of getting that person, but that's and in fact she's paying 40,000 basically because there's 4 of you. Is quite
Yeah.
high. You could buy a starfighter for 40,000, for example. For the advantage, however, she will give you a further 500 each now. So you're getting 1,000 each now. You'll get 9,000 more on completion. For the despair, I'm not going to tell you what the despair has done. That will come up at a later point.
She's gonna have a lightsaber, know how to use it. That's what the despair is.
Can we? I was gonna say. No, never mind. Nope. I'll shut up.
Kane was about to bury us, and he realized he had the shovel in his hand and put it down.
No. I'm good. This is a cooperative hustle game. And I will keep my mouth shut.
So she says, "Do you have any more questions before you decide on whether you do or don't? Because there are things I will discuss further if you take the job. But do you have any questions you would like answered before you decide whether to or not to take the job?"
How much information do you have about the target?
So I have a few leads. So the target herself, we don't know much about her. We don't know her species. She wears an elaborate platinum mask that hides her features. In fact, I would think that the mask would serve as sufficient. In fact, make sure the mask comes back, because that will serve as sufficient proof for my employers of her defeat, regardless of whatever body you have. Because I said you can bring any woman and say this is her, but the mask I think would be sufficient proof. But no, all I can tell you is that she is humanoid. She has 2 arms, 2 legs. She is some species which is human or human-like. She may be Pantoran for all I know if she's actually based here on Selakami.
Might
So
we have
nobody's seen her skin color?
No, never been seen. I don't know anybody. I've not found anybody who's ever seen her without the mask.
Is it
No, I mean
possible-
like
oh,
arms, legs.
No, fully clothed.
Okay.
might we have a
Well, I
moment
guess
to
that rules
confer
out a
amongst
trained ocean
ourselves?
if you can't see their feet and hands.
I beg your
What's that?
pardon?
I
I
was
was just
Oh, go ahead,
go
Fo. Go ahead, Fo. Go ahead.
no, I was just making a joke. I was just making a Star Wars joke.
Oh. Yeah, Phelan's gonna ask for it's Darth Revan. Wow. Okay. Sorry, that was a stream chat message. Phelan's gonna ask if we can have a few moments to ourselves. Whether we leave the room or stay in the room is up to her.
Of course. Let's. She stands up. Just come on, Paul. I'll go and refresh. And they both leave the room.
All right. I'm looking at what I believe my character would understand as the actual bounty hunter of the group and be like, she's not giving us a whole lot of information. Do you think we can do this? This is a mission that we can accomplish, and you can get paid for her mark as well as this job.
I was just going to say the implication was that she would give you more information if you took the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so that she has more she can give. But
Oh, I'm sure that the further information will allow us to at least complete the job. The question is, what kind of trouble will we run into along the way?
Yes, I myself have some concerns in that regard, but hopefully she will give us more information than what she's given us so far that will help. The problem,
out
I
of
guess,
character.
go ahead, Foham.
Oh, I was gonna say, out of character. I had to step away for a second, so I missed part of that conversation. I'm assuming that the target is the whoever the suspected leader of the pirates is that have been attacking the consortium.
Yes, the self-proclaimed
correct,
pirate
the pirate-
queen that has no name but
pirate
wears a
queen.
platinum mask and nobody
Pirate
knows what she
queen,
looks
okay.
like.
Yep, I got that part. Yeah,
Okay.
I was just that's why I was just assuming.
Yeah. I think ultimately what
It's-
Phelan is trying to say is that with as little information as we have, that we're committing to something that we kind of have to rely on having her give us sufficient information to complete the job. But in order to get that information, we have to agree to the job. And I think that's what Phelan's concern is. Although he also probably
But
realizes this is
considering-
normal-ish.
Considering that
I think
until I met everybody here in person, none of you had reputations beyond that. They have to have enough information for somebody to go off of.
Of course.
She's, if she had so little information, then her only option to really get this done would have been somebody of significant notoriety, of skill.
It'll probably cost more, but is not easily replaceable, such as us.
Yeah. And
considering that they
given
have
the
ability to make good on their word and kill those who fight back, I would suggest, as much as it might be disappointing for two of us, violence might not be the easy answer.
No violence.
regardless, I like to pay.
Well, I like to pay too. Anything to keep the ship flying.
Oh, this will be much more than enough to keep the ship flying.
Ooh, could get that new upgraded shield package.
Bigger
or an
stick.
upgraded sensors package.
Bigger stick. Of course you want a bigger stick, Trokk. This guy. This
We
guy.
need an
The-
upgraded sensors package.
The negotiator in me realizes that when my target is already starting to work out how they're going to spend the money, I've already done the bid.
I tried to tell the audience, James knows how to negotiate. God
Out
damn
of
it.
character, I mean,
Actually, out of character.
we either take the job or we just hey we're done after episode 1.
Listen, I just
Yeah.
wanted to throw out like some sort of realistic, like, are you sure we want to do this? Because we could get well and truly fucked over here.
In character though, Trokk will say, how would he phrase this? He would say, take job, hunt, follow steps, follow footsteps, sniff air, kill.
Huh. Yes, you're literally a bloodhound. I get it, Trokk. I get it. All
Just-
right.
Out
Yeah.
of character. Out of character, James. What is the cost to upgrade the sensor package on the ship?
There's usually like multiple different modifications you can add to a ship. Let me just have a look at what.
Well, I imagine there's like a
of.
basic and then advanced and then super advanced or something along those lines.
Well, for a lot of them, it's you get the basic package, and then somebody can try to roll to improve it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, even the most expensive ship upgrade is like 10,000 for that. That's for the most expensive. So you could, for 10,000, you can get quite a few upgrades to ships depending on different parts of it, sensors, systems, etc. So
Okay.
I want to go back to the table.
Yep.
And say, what would you think about upgrading our ship a little bit and taking 2,000 off of everybody?
I think Feylon definitely makes a face like I just did.
Yeah, Seren from the back, totally torpedoing this, says, "I will not contribute money to that."
I feel like,
Why not?
oh man, because that's money, and I could choose the upgrades and not have them tinkering. And last thing I need is somebody putting a bug on my ship.
We'd be saving 2,000 credits.
I'd be losing 2,000 credits. And I think I'm going to look at Seren to back me up here.
I think this is a conversation that you would prefer we have after this negotiation is closed.
Okay.
Shall we bring her back in and tell her we're down to do this?
Yeah.
All right. And then I'm going to look around and realize there's nobody I can make a signal to and be like, all right, screw it. I guess I'll go get the door.
all right, when she sprays in, she's carrying an elaborate cocktail as well. She sits down.
Ooh,
with
what
like
is that?
It's a turbo laser. You should really try it.
I will try one. I'm going to need a sandwich first, though, I think.
Maybe something starchy.
You notice I said sandwich, right?
Trokk will just take a primary beer.
No, you can't call it primary here. It has to be like prime.
It's
or...
secondary beer.
Secondary beer.
It's oh, there you go. It's preliminary.
All right. So yeah, we'll take the job. 10,000 apiece, 1,000 up front.
She turns to the trade. Could you start organising the extra cred chips? I will just go through the other information we have for our guests here. And she pulls a data pad out of like a jacket and starts to sort of flick through it. Now we have a number of leads that should help you in chasing down your quarry. The first lead is an individual named Graf Lind. I'll put that in chat.
Yes,
RAF?
He's going to drop it in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Graf Lind.
Oh, Graflin. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He was once one of the sorority's brigands until he lost favour with them, 6 or so years ago. Though he was nearly killed by his former associates, he managed to escape from the sorority's purview, and we've discovered his current whereabouts. He lives in the local slums known as the Warrens. I can give you an address. His information would surely be outdated, given he left the organisation 6 years ago, but he may still have some valuable intel that could help you find the Queen. The second lead is a man by the name of Krizo Wazanti.
I'm so glad we have the ability to type the name somewhere.
Yeah.
He's a fence who operates a business near the local starport. He came to our attention a week ago when he attempted to sell one of our agents some of our own goods back. Some goods that had been pillaged previously by one of the sorority's recent raids. He must have some connection to the pirates, given he's obviously dealing in goods they have stolen. So you may be able to find some more information from him. Finally, the third lead is not so much a person as a resource. Consortium slicers have recently discovered there is a data node operating here on Shinigami known as Sororinet. Though it's ostensibly used to schedule tours of Shinigami's more rugged wastelands, the name itself is suspicious. and the security level
What was
is
the data
far
node
higher.
called?
Sorry,
What was the data node called?
Sororinet.
I'll put it into. Yeah, the security level is far too high for a mere tourism outfit. So, should any of you or your contacts have expertise in slicing, you may be able to learn more there. She finishes with the data pad and puts it on the table and slides it across to you. The details, the addresses, etc., are all in here.
Thank you.
It's definitely got
I'll
my
pick up
wheels
the data
turning.
pad and slip it into my jacket or my cloak.
By the way, thank you for this recommendation. This turbo laser is delicious and potent. I cannot finish this.
Well, she downs hers in one go,
And of course, I just lowered
and then-
myself even more into prey status.
and then stands up. I'm afraid I have to get on to my other task, gentlemen, but and lady. But if you have any questions, you have my comlink frequency. Please do reach out. Please
Will
stay
do.
and enjoy hospitality. Was here as long as you like. Come, Pearl. Let's go and get the. We'll go pay the tab and go.
All right. Well, have a good day. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
We need to find a place that we can talk without being overlooked or over.
I think we can just stay right where we're at.
Yeah, I
Just
look around and
quiet,
I feel like there might be some bugs in here. I don't know.
Yeah, Seren just snorts and says, "Perhaps the ship."
Yeah, I feel like the ship is a better
The ship
place.
would work too.
And I don't know
Fucking
who has.
45
I have
minutes
nothing
away,
in
but-
computers, but somebody needs to take a look at this data pad to figure out more info. No, that's. Never mind. Don't disregard. I just forget I even said that. My brain is not working. I'm over here trying to
Okay.
come up with smart, funny things to say. I think we should go back to the ship. And Feylon just tries to finish off his sandwich.
You know you'll be disappointed if you don't finish the drink.
Damn you, Seren. I
I-
hate the way you make me do these things, and he's gonna chug it.
Yeah, I think at some point you also notice like a menu on the table, and you can see this place is ridiculously overpriced. And you're lucky she paid because apparently a turbo laser is 220 credits.
I'm definitely gonna drink this son of a gun now. Yeah, they can overcharge all I want. If I'm getting an expensive drink, even if it's not really expensive, I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
I might even start leaning on the lizard to carry me out. Wouldn't that be a funny sight?
As we start walking, so that there's not much chance of anybody overhearing us, I kind of say to Seren, so what do we need to talk about back at the ship? What topics?
Well, I suppose for one, we should have a collective plan on which of these leads we think we can follow, but the other is utilizing the resources available to you without taking them.
I just want to get back to the ship because this. I think something in
Also,
the smoke is really.
I
thick.
have a feeling that Feylon will be standing for maybe another 30 minutes, an hour.
It's not that much of a lightweight, unless
I'd like to get-
games make me roll some sort of con check.
I'd like to get him back to the ship while we wait to see how hard this hits him.
All right.
Thanks,
That's
is having a
about
couple of
we
drinks
can
reduce
go
my
back to the
strain?
ship.
No.
They do in the real
okay.
world, damn it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So, because you've had a chance to rest here, so
Okay.
I mean, it's not like a sleep, but I'll say that those of you that had strain, you take that strain off now.
All the way back to 0?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, 2.
And then add 2.
Out of character, one thing that I want to circle back to, just to make sure I have the notes here. The fence, Krezo
Krezo
President
was
Rizzotti?
on-
Krezo was on.
Frieza.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the reason that that's a lead is because he basically tried to sell them their own stolen merchandise back.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
they matched the serial
specifically,
number.
he got it from the sorority. Tried to
Yeah,
sell
he got
back
it
to
from the people that stole it, so that shows the association or implies an association. shit there with pirates. Okay.
Yep.
Well, Trokk is happy. He's got 2 people that he can go and smash potentially. So
Trokk,
And a
we
computer.
can't
A
kill
computer
every.
can go and
Listen,
smash.
Trokk, not everything is a hammer or a nail. Okay.
I was about to say, Trokk is a hammer standing over nails, constantly moving around him.
He is a hammer in a world of nails.
yes, and his whole purpose is just trying to figure out which ones he can hit.
And which ones are going to hit back harder. I think Feylon is me personally as a player. I'm thinking this data node would be worth checking out, but I don't think any of us have any slicer abilities. I'm assuming a data node is the Star Wars term for something like a server or a hub, something like that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so Star Wars has the HoloNet, which is, I guess, its equivalent of the internet, but it was obviously created, conceptually by books in the 1980s. So it's not really the same as what we consider internet. So in order to so they said that it was the front for it was a tourist company. Yeah, so they have like a HoloNet website you could go to read about this tourist site, but you would need a slicing kit and some computers roles in order to actually try and get through that into. So think of it like data nodes were in Cyberpunk. They're like different layers of information behind a front face.
You got to get through the black security so you can get to the nice juicy data.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Trokk will be zero help there.
Do we make it molested back to the ship?
Yes. Yeah.
As a bounty hunter.
Yep.
Would I have contacts that would be into slicing?
So I would say you wouldn't know somebody on this planet, but you would know where to start looking to try and find a slicer, for example.
Okay. I say you guys head back to the ship. I'm going to look for a slicer.
Or we could try to look for some tools.
I think Feylon's definitely got the. Wait, what? I thought we were going back to the ship. Why are we going and you're splitting off? Shouldn't we stay together? I don't know. I've read this in a book about splitting the party.
Trokk will probably say some wisdom about, don't split the hunt.
Don't split the hunt. There you go. That makes much more. That makes much more in character sense than what I just said.
Okay, Feylon, 1, you're drunk.
I'm not drunk. You're drunk. Okay, maybe I'm drunk.
Yeah, in other words, I love you, man.
He's not that drunk, James. It was one turbo laser. Maybe it was something in the smoke, though. I don't know. All right, I'm good.
Anyway, I don't want to waste any time. I want to get to a slicer and get this data node checked out.
It's on Solo, not on bar.
I'm
looking at the chat comments.
I suppose if you're going to go search for a slicer, keep in mind, in case it's the cheaper route, if you can get your hands on some slicing tools, I could certainly make an effort.
Why don't you take the laser with you in case, you get stumbly or something?
I have a little bit of computers experience, no specific training, but a lot of these types of tasks come naturally to me. I just don't have the tools. Without the tools, it's nearly undoable.
Out of character, what kind of tools do you need? Or are
It's
you talking
slicers
actual slice? Okay, never mind.
As everybody starts talking.
Sorry, I'm done. I'll shut up now.
No, Omar, you asked a question out of character.
Oh no, he actually needed slicer tools specifically. I was gonna suggest if it was just tools in general, I have a toolkit, but he needs specific slicer kit or whatever. So we're good.
Right.
That's all I wanted.
So I will look for either tools or a slicer.
Right. I'll tell you what the roles would be, and you can choose which one you roll. So finding a slicer would either be a streetwise or an underworld roll against 3 purple. Finding a slicer toolkit would be a negotiation roll against 2 purple.
I'll look for the tools first.
Okay. So rolling negotiation against 2 purple difficulty.
Yep.
Let me switch it over. Keep forgetting to do that, and I'm over here sending a
So
text to my
2
kid.
green, 2 purple. Anything else?
That's it. If you wanted, you can spend a light side point to upgrade one of your greens to a yellow.
James pandering again. No, do not give him any points.
Okay, you have a success with no advantage. So you find a person which sells slicer kit. It is 500 credits.
500.
Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, it's not just one use. It's reusable equipment. So once you have it, you have a slicer toolkit.
Right.
Now you can, if you also look to see if you can find a slicer, you can decide, based on the cost of each, which one you're more inclined to do.
Yeah. Do I have like a map soft or something
To do what?
to mark the location?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can put it on.
Okay.
You've got the data pad she gave you. You can mark it on the data pad.
I say that's a little more expensive than I was hoping for. I might be back.
They say something at you in weak way, which you think might be a swear word, but they accept
It
that.
definitely was a swear word. The asterisks in the subtitles tell me it was.
Hoodoo. What is it from?
Okay, so I
So,
need to make a streetwise against 3 purple.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna flip a dark side point, and it's gonna be against 2 purple and a red.
Then I will spend a light side point to get a yellow.
Okay, so when you go into you don't add a yellow. What you do is you click on where it says upgrade ability, and that will change a green into a yellow.
So
Okay.
a yellow, a red, a green, and 2 purple.
No, you get rid of one of the purples because my upgrade changed the purple into a red. So it should be one of each: one yellow, one green, one red, one purple.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right.
Ooh,
So
what's in there?
all right.
Ouch.
So
So,
you have succeeded. I'm going to reserve what the threat is for the moment, but I know exactly what it will be. All right. So you find yourself in a when I say a bar, like a cantina is a classy joint, like a nightclub. This is more like just a bar, where you're in it's just a seedy drinking joint, pretty much. Sitting opposite a male human, probably you'd say in his late 20s, and he's like, "Yeah, I can. I know my way around computers. What can you tell me about what you're wanting to do, what the target is, or what you're wanting to get?"
Well, first off, do you have a slicer kit already?
Of course, I've got a full kit at my apartment ready to go.
Okay. Good. In that case,
I'll
talking
just
business.
kill you and take it off you. That's all.
I was waiting. As soon as he asked that question, I thought that's what he was about to do.
No,
and stab.
that could lead to some negative reputation.
Dark side points don't care.
Have you heard of Sorority Net?
Okay, let me make a roll for him to see if he's heard of it. It's gonna be his underworld skill. No, I haven't heard of it. I mean, look, sorry. Let me say, I know something called SororiNet exists. I couldn't tell you anything about it though. I've come across references to it when I've been on the HoloNet, but I've never looked into what it is.
Just like
All
all
right.
those other
Well,
ads we see.
basically, it's a data node that has protections that are above and beyond what they should be. How much would you charge to slice into that and get us some information?
So just pulling information out.
Yep.
And how soon do you need it?
ASAP.
Okay.
I mean, if it takes a couple days, it takes a couple days, but I'd rather get it sooner.
Darius, give me a negotiation roll against 1 purple, 1 red.
Ooh.
Here comes the triangle.
Mm.
You can have it fast, good, or cheap, and you pick 2.
So 1 purple, 1 red.
Yep.
Mm.
All right. All right. So it will be. He's going to charge you 500. You've asked for data from a secure node. That's not too dangerous as far as he's concerned. 500 will do it.
So it's basically the cost again of slicer.
All right. Can I get your comm link code?
Yep. Sure.
Are we
So
all? Oh, go ahead.
It's really a question of who you think's better at it. Him or Seren will be better at it. That's the question, I guess.
Yeah, I've got to check with my crew and see what they think about 500.
Yeah.
Are we all doing this? Are we with Gregor when he's doing these?
No,
negotiations?
I thought everybody was at the ship
We
except
went
for
back to the
Gregor.
ship.
Okay, so you did go off by yourself to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because Trokk would get very annoyed at all the talk stuff.
Well, I guess it's up to James, but I guess we could argue that Trokk has been following along this whole time.
I like the idea that in order to keep Trokk from like climbing the walls inside the ship, Seren, as the mechanic on the ship, comes up with bogus maintenance tasks that require him to pick things up.
That requires all the strength.
Ship.
Yeah, you need the strong guy. Pick up this crate, move it over there.
So he feels good about aggressively, like I'm big, check this out, but it just keeps it busy, so he doesn't get in trouble.
Because all Trokk knows is that there were 2 names on that lead. Names mean people, and we could just go lean on these people until they talk. And Trokk is good at leaning on people.
Yep. We plan on doing that too.
That will probably happen.
So
Anyway, I
when
get
you
his
guys do
comm link code, and I go back and I try and buy the slicer kit.
Okay, all right. If you want to buy the slicer kit in the way you can buy it, that's fine. There's no problem with that. The weak will sell it to you.
After he throws in
Well,
another asterisk in the subtitles.
If nothing else, the slicer kit will benefit us in the long term.
Yeah.
So I'll just mark 500 off your gear money, and I will put a slicer kit in your inventory, which can be moved to someone else at a later point. No problem at all.
Did you already take the credits out?
Oh, you did, yeah.
I think while Trokk is
Okay.
over there doing the heavy lifting, Feylon is just sitting up in his pilot seat. He's just kind of like, oh, this is so great. I could just sit here.
Well, so you
stare out
notice
the
as well
window.
that the Argonauts have installed a scented Bubsy tree thing that hangs in the cockpit to
That's
give
awesome.
it a pleasant sort of smell.
And you know what? I want to say this. I think when Feylon finds it, he just
Yep.
starts laughing his ass off. And he's not going to say why until somebody approaches him. But I will say as a player, it has something to do with something I read about cats not that long ago and their sense of smell and why burning candles, like scented candles, is usually not a good idea for cats, other than the fire hazard itself.
Seren prefers to hang out with you in the cockpit. So if you're just like lounging in the cockpit, drunkenly enjoying yourself, Saren's definitely in there with you. So.
Oh, yeah. In that case,
Okay,
like, look
well,
at that. Look at that. You smell that? That is going to drive Trokk so crazy when he gets in here. He's not going to know what anything smells like for the rest of the day. It's going to throw his whole day off. His equilibrium might be affected. And he's just rolling with it right now.
Yeah. I think it's the sort of thing that, Seren is giving Trokk been busy because, he's got to do something. He's got to burn on
He's an action personality.
Yeah. So I mean, he'll do like whatever task you give him, and then he'll come find you on the ship, and what's the next task type thing. And I think
into the set.
Yeah, and I think at some point he walks into the cockpit and just like immediately like his nose like curdles up, and he starts to start. Like
smell
sneezing.
right
You just
in
can't-
here.
You know
you just
that
can't get that like sneeze out.
you know that menthol smell that's like equal parts organic is chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
So Seren will put a hand on Phelan's shoulder to stop him from doing anything. It just looks up at Trokk and says, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I think he's laughing as much as I am at this whole image in his head. It's just like, of course, he's half drunk too, so that's why this is so hilarious. He's just like, oh my god, his face, oh my god.
And I think it's the sort of thing that, like, I mean, Trandoshan's have a really good sense of smell, but I think it's like so overpowering that he probably can't figure out where it's coming from, and it wouldn't like occur to him that the little tree-shaped thing is, you know, where the smell is coming from.
I think Feylon is mentally hoping that when he wakes up later, he's gonna remember to make a note to grab all of the car scent items that he can and place them all throughout the ship just to mess with Trokk. But he won't remember it because he's definitely a little bit more intoxicated than he thought he would be.
Are you okay?
I'm great.
No,
How are
not
you?
you. Not you. You shush.
The truck need task. What smell?
I think it's called a
she'll
pine tree.
She'll lean over and grab the air freshener and hand it to him.
You hand it to Trokk?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you just probably just like handed him like kryptonite or something. I mean, as soon as it gets close to him, he'll probably just like smack it out of your hand onto the floor. And just
Well, that's the smell. What do you say we get away from it? Let's go. Let's head over to the hyperdrive. I could use your help.
And then Feylon just pops back down in his seat. He's doing that slow, lazy pan from one side to the other, staring out the cockpit window. Like, this is amazing. Look at that view.
I love the way you're going to find busy work for Trokk so he doesn't get violent.
yes.
I don't want to have to fix things when he rips them off the wall because he's bored.
I mean, wait, have you never seen a cat or a dog bored? They start getting crazy.
And yeah, that's,
All right,
I
so
figured
I
that's
head
what we
back
were
to the
doing while we were
ship.
shopping.
Probably by the time you come back to the ship, Seren probably has, you know, Trokk doing like a squat competition with like one of the
With a power
workers
lifter
or something.
droid.
Yeah, with a power lifter. That's even better. With a power lifter droid. Just doing like the Final Fantasy VII, like, you know, the squat.
Or she found like the heaviest single piece of deck plate and was like, I bet you couldn't flip that over.
Can't too.
Just so he's like there struggling with it for a while.
All right. Presumably you're all now back together again on the ship.
Yep.
Well, I did roll a few threats. Am I running into anything on the way back?
Not at this point, no.
James
Okay,
is going to stockpile the threat for later.
Yeah.
He already knows what it did, and we don't.
It's probably just going to be on our way to wherever we go next to, you know, go lean on this fence or whatever, you know. It's probably just something as simple as Trokk comes upon a Wookiee and there's like an immediate throwdown.
A Wookiee? Have you forgotten how much threat we've rolled? It's going to be like 5 Wookiees, man.
It's going to be the Wookiee gang.
Did you
A bunch of
find
teenagers?
what you were
He
looking
will
for?
walk onto the ship and he will say, "Hey, Seren, where you at?"
I'm in the engine room.
Okay, he'll walk back there and hand you the slicer kit.
Ah. Did you find a slicer? Or is this all you found?
And I found a slicer too, but he wanted the same amount as the kit was worth.
Well, let's give it a go. And I'll head back up towards the cockpit.
Okay.
And I'll just like kick the back of Phelan's chair.
What, man? What? I'm just chilling here.
Yeah,
Damn it, Seren. Why are you so mean to me? I've always been so nice to you.
yes, and I'm so nice to you. Now, we've got some work to do.
Oh, work? Why would I do that? That's what I got you guys for.
Yet she just looks at you when you ask that question and pauses for a couple of seconds and then starts getting to work.
He's clearly just being a jerk right now. Not a jerk, but like just talking shit. He has 0 focus right now, by the way.
So yeah, let's see if I can slice Aurora net.
So you're doing what computer are you doing it from on the ship?
probably be a bad idea to do it from the ship.
Yes, it would be a bad idea
yeah.
to do it straight from the ship.
So
Oh, are you gonna take your best bud Feylon into town and go hack the local internet cafe?
yeah, I think that's what Seren wants to do.
'Cause I think at this point, Feylon is so thirsty from dry mouth that he needs to drink some water.
All right. So you just find a public data terminal somewhere you can use. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, did
So
you already move the?
I did. Yep. I moved it over.
Oh, okay.
So first thing to do is I need a computers check from you, please, Seren, with no difficulty dice.
Okay, and I am having I've been dragging Feylon with me because I'm having him keep an eye out or help me wiggle cables or something.
Yeah.
And I'll go with as a bodyguard.
So
Well, all I heard was I'll go with because Phelan's probably still drunk.
Okay, no
Yeah.
difficulty dice.
Yep.
And I'm going to assume, Feylon, you do not have ranks in computer.
Do not.
So this will be an unskilled help.
Yeah. I guess I give you one little blue die.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, one success with a ton of advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was just to turn the computer on.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm going to tell you. So first off, for the success, first off, so you managed to track down a website called SalloQuest Overland Adventures, which appears to be a service from which you can hire expeditions to go and explore various exciting parts of Shinigami. They, basically, airspeeder trips and other sort of effectively like cruises or the like that would spend several days taking you to various exciting parts. So there's a few things to notice about it with the advantage. First off, it appears to be a legitimate business. It has photographs of business offices. It has employees of the month. It has current jobs on offer. You also notice that its prices are prohibitively expensive, way more than you would ever expect to pay for for these sorts of tours. And it will even say things like, oh yes, we might look expensive, but we're the best that's out there. But that's a whole other story. It's like being asked to pay first class round the world airfare prices to take a bus trip to the local, hot springs or something. You also notice that, according to its calendar, everything is booked out for at least the next 3 months, and all they're doing right now is taking wait lists for people to actually to get on. You do also start just literally clicking through every single different page on the site. Eventually, you come to a page full of forms that you can fill out, and one of the forms is an accident claim form. Like you say you've been on one of their previous tours and you had an injury and you want to put in an insurance claim. There's a form you got to fill out, but when you click that link, it takes you to a file not found page, and you realize that making further roll, thanks to your high advantage, that this file missing page is actually the gateway into the secured node behind the website.
Real quick, is Trokk coming with us?
He's busy
I'm back
flipping
now.
a deck plate.
He's busy.
He's very unsubtly flipping a deck plate.
He probably walks in at some point just to check in, probably
We're
just
not
to
on the
say,
ship.
Oh, you're not? Oh, okay.
No, we're off in the spaceport or starport somewhere, hacking the planet.
Oh, okay. And I Trokk, you left on the ship, I'm assuming that.
We're at Space Bucks.
Space Bucks.
Okay.
Hacking right now.
Okay.
Or trying to. I would like to spend an advantage since there's so many.
Yep.
I'd like to spend an advantage on giving a blue die to the next player who makes a roll.
Well,
Probably
so
gonna be me.
yeah, you can take the blue dice directly into the roll now to get through this layer of encryption. So The next step is a computer's roll against 2 purple, 1 red to get into the secured node behind this.
Purple and a red. And I would like to spend a destiny point, and I
Yep.
will upgrade.
That gang of Wookiees just became the whole tribe.
There, here we go.
I did switch it over. Damn it. What do we got? Good. Kind of.
Okay, so you have not broken through that. So you spent basically about an hour trying to get through it, and you have not broken through it at this point in time. With your advantage, you have avoided any form of detection, and your next attempt to do it would also get the blue dice as well. But right now, you have not yet managed to break through this layer of encryption. Given you've been going for an hour, at this point, Darius, Gregor gets a message on his comlink from Vedlana, saying that it came to her attention through her contacts that you were seen by the local police force here, making contact with a criminal that they're surveilling, probably this slicer, but that she assures you that she has paid the appropriate bribes, that you're they will not have any further interest in you.
Oh, man.
Well, I appreciate you covering my tracks.
And I'm waiting for her to deduct some of the money that she's going to pay us when we complete this mission, just because that bribe fee.
No, I mean, she spoke about potential, performance bonuses. Just eating into the potential performance, like that they can't not pay you what they told you they would pay you, because that would put them in bad stead with, any future hunters they wanted to hire.
But it can affect our bonus. So Seren will look over at Feylon and say, "We should go to another place, and I'll continue my work. Let's find another place to sit down and grab a sandwich."
I could really use another sandwich.
How long have
Hey, you think maybe we should message Trokk to make sure he doesn't break something?
well, that's what I was gonna say. Is anyone still on the ship?
No, I think Trokk is by himself.
Okay.
That's why I asked.
And
if
how
Trokk
long
was
is
coming with.
Phelan? And how long has Phelan and Seren been gone?
About 90
An hour.
minutes.
Yeah, hour and a half, yeah.
Okay, definitely at this point. I'm sure at this point, Trokk has a communicator. He probably would have tried to communicate out to somebody, and I mean he's definitely getting ants in his pants now, or whatever.
He's like, I've moved this block I don't know how many times. Can you tell me something else to do?
Whatever the Trandoshan equivalent of ants in his pants is. But I think at this point, I mean he knows about the other leads, Graf and Krezo. I'm assuming he has information about their whereabouts. I think we said that Graf is in like a slum or something with an address.
I just took the data pad and put it in my cloak.
Yeah, he's got the data pad with all the data.
So Trokk does not have that information.
Right.
No,
You would
know of
not
it.
have shared that.
You would know of the names that were mentioned, but you wouldn't unless you tried to go look for them with like no prep or whatever. You'd have to start the process all by your own.
One of them was all you know is one of them is a trader, like a local fence. So I mean, you could a streetwise roll could try and track him down if you wanted to do something. But
yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I mean, it'd be easier with the information that's in my pocket.
Yeah, but I'm that's the thing, is that you've left Trokk to stew, and
now Trokk is like, nope, you're not gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna find my own thing to do.
Well, he's just trying to. This is a hunt for him, and you can only distract him so long. And I 90 minutes is. That's why I think at least I'm gonna at this point say that after 90 minutes, or whatever, he's not stupid. He's probably going to communicate to you guys and let you guys know what he's doing. But I mean, he's going to go out and hunt. I mean, he's going to try to. I think we're going to try to. I think what he would try to do from his perspective is he would probably try to find this merchant, this fence, and then try to lean on them to get information out of them. So I think he's going to go whatever kind of role that would be. I don't know if that would be streetwise,
First of all, when you contact us, I'm going to say, here's the data pad. Look up the information on them, and then say, okay, meet me at this intersection.
Okay, so once he does ask about it, you're going to give it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, he's not gonna. I mean, he's.
and I'm gonna look at the other two and go, "You guys good here?"
Yeah, I think we can handle this. And I'm just gonna order my next grilled cheese and ham sandwich.
Seren, you good here?
We'll be fine.
Okay.
Trokk needs someone to keep him out of trouble.
Yes. Trokk
Well,
needs a
yeah.
champion.
Or at least
And,
rein in the trouble.
Rein in the
Trokk is like me and my big guys in Blood Bowl. You always gotta have somebody nearby, otherwise they get out of control.
Well,
Hey,
long,
so-
long as you can control the drunkard here.
Fine.
So are you two going to the slum house or to the shop?
Sounds like to the shop. They were
To
going
the shop,
fence.
yeah, to talk to the fence, yeah. See what
Yeah.
information we can get out.
Okay, no worries.
And we're just
Um,
picking a different place to sit down for an hour and enjoy our time and watch me try to hack
You know,
again.
you know how it is. There's a Starbucks at every counter or every corner. We're just gonna go a couple blocks over and find the next one.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'll tell you what. I was once in Glasgow, and I was standing on a street intersection in Glasgow, and there was literally a Starbucks within one block in all four directions. So,
But the
Man.
question is, could you see all four of them?
yeah,
Probably.
you can see all
You
four
could.
from one. You
You
can
could.
see all four from one spot. Yeah.
Tell you, Starbucks has figured out
Oh, my-
location.
Yeah, I forget where it was, but a friend of mine, I think in California, said that there was a Starbucks on one corner and a Starbucks on the opposite corner.
And then and then there's also usually a
Of the
Starbucks
same
in the
intersection.
nearby. Yeah, and then there's usually a grocery store with a
Yep.
Starbucks inside it.
Yeah, at the Target with the Starbucks inside.
Okay, so the two of you head out of the spaceport because Grizo's shop is actually out in like the sort of not even the suburbs of the city. Like effectively, you go beyond the city wall into like a sort of a sparsely not populated vegetated almost sort of like a barrens area where there's all these sort of shops and houses
Mhm.
of businesses that service the locals here. And you find your way to this shop. So I'm going to change the audio to something else. And it is sort of like a single level building with a sort of a fenced back area. Think of almost like Watto's shop in
Yep.
episode 1. So like piles of junk, etc. Some good stuff, some not so much good stuff. And when you go in, there is a Rhodian behind the counter. I will show you
course.
a picture. There he is. And in fact, let me just also go and put,
More blue than green.
Yeah.
This guy's moving up in the world.
Yeah, so this is Seren and this is Trokk and Gregor. And let me just activate this scene.
Switch this over. Oop, wrong one. Oh, I don't have a token, so I'm not gonna see it. Oh well, no worries.
Well, 'cause we're
Okay,
not-
now what I can do
No,
is
no,
I'll just switch it to that's fine. I'll switch it to I'll turn off token
Token
vision.
visibility.
Should we see it now?
There we go. Yeah.
All right. So there's an old loading droid, an ASP labor droid that looks like this standing on one side of the shop,
Mhm.
and then the Rhodian behind the counter. He looks up and says in heavily accented basic, welcome to my shop. Come in.
Okay. At this point, I mean, Trokk and Gregor have worked before, right? I think we've established that at least in some, a couple of previous jobs or something. Yeah. So, I think at this point they kind of have like a routine, and I think at this point Trokk would let Gregor lead, and Trokk is there to provide like the incentive to cooperate.
The incentive to cooperate. The intimidating looks from the back.
Yeah.
So this would fall under coercion, right?
Yeah. So what are you wanting to ask me about?
Trokk, what's your will?
He's
3.
clapping some.
So I can definitely like intimidate him if you want to, between the two of us, go that route. I mean, this is like sort of thing that we can just kind of like barge in, drag him across the counter type thing, or
They
starts,
skipped good
like-
cop and went straight to bad cop.
start smashing all the expensive stuff in the
Oh
shop.
no, this is bad cop, bad cop.
Yeah,
Bad cop.
exactly.
Okay, well that's the route we're going. I mean, we can do like an intimidation or not, whatever the equivalent of intimidation, coercion is, and just see where it leads us. I mean, Trokk's not going to lead like immediately into violence, but just he's going to ask about where he got the I'm sorry, I let you pull up my notes. The stolen consortium goods from.
Okay, no worries. She never told you what the actual goods were. Just
Yeah, because we didn't know what they were. Didn't even know who. It was just the implication there was that because he was selling them their goods back. Like they knew that they had been stolen.
Okay, but you're getting straight to the point about what it's about. Okay.
Straight to the point.
So give me a coercion roll against 3 purple.
All right, so let's.
Okay, I have 1 skill rank.
I think you both have a skill rank in coercion, don't you?
I have a skill rank in.
Yeah, so it will be unskilled. So he'll give you a blue boost dice on this.
Okay.
Okay.
And you said add 1 purple.
Yep.
Okay.
So it'll be a yellow, 2 green, and 3 purple.
No, 3 purple. Sorry. So yellow. So who's rolling? Is it
yellow,
Trokk?
I'm
2
rolling.
green, 3 purple, and a blue.
Yeah.
I think Trokk is gonna. I think Trokk should be doing this role. I'm basically just gonna go up to the counter Grizo wants to conduct a transaction. Well, we're gonna conduct a transaction. He'll just reach across the counter, just pull him close and be like, where'd you get the I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the name.
The Zan Consortium
The
gear.
Zan Consortium goods from.
Okay, cool. All right. Give me that coercion roll.
So what I have is I have a yellow, 2 green, 3 purple, and 1 blue.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Two
Oh my
fails.
god.
Okay, cool.
Seriously.
All right. So he definitely
Come
looks
on.
when you mention the Zan Consortium, his big bug eyes go even bigger. And he looks at the droid as like, Kushu, Buttercup Nawanga, and suddenly the droid steams into action and starts rushing towards you. So
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to add you all to a combat.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
combat.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Having expected to be coercion, my hand, of course, was on my blade.
Yep.
So I'm going to draw that.
So we'll cut. So you have quick draw or not? Let's say. So I'll say it's drawn already at the start because you knew you were coming in here.
I don't have quick draw, but I'm not being
happy to
taken
say
by
it was drawn
surprise
for you.
either.
Yeah, that's fine. So on the right-hand side of the interface, you should see a cross swords icon at the top for combat encounters, and you should see there it shows 2 PC and 2 NPC slots. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, and there's a dice beside them.
Yep.
So just pick one of the PC slots and roll the dice. It's going to ask you whether it's vigilance or cool, and in this case, it's going to be cool.
It's gonna be cool. Okay.
Where is this?
So top right-hand side of the interface, there should be one of the icons is 2 cross swords next to the chat icon. Yeah, and then just click on the PC, the dice next to a PC.
Oh, there's a little dude speaking Huddies in the background.
And you said it was against cool.
Against cool, yeah.
And is there any success advantages?
Nope, just leave it as is. Everything else is as is. Okay. So the way the system works is with initiative, it's either a PC slot or an NPC slot. So anytime a slot comes up, you guys can decide if it's a PC action, which PC is going to take the action. So even though you rolled individually, you're now running it as whatever you want to do at each round of combat. But an NPC got the highest initiative. They got 1 success and 3 advantage. So I'm going to have the droid be the one to act first.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to sec. Okay, so I'm going to have him claim the initiative slot. So he, so I think he's going to try and get to Trokk because Trokk is the one that's definitely like manhandling his master.
Yeah.
So he takes it. So when it's your turn, you get 2 actions. You get a maneuver action, and you get a standard action. So maneuver can be to move, it can be to aim, it can be to draw a weapon, for example. Anytime you want to, you can spend 2 strain to take a second maneuver in a turn. So you want to move twice, you want to move and draw a weapon, you want to draw a weapon and aim, move and aim, etc. So it's used a bit.
What about attacks of opportunity?
If he moves away from like, in fact, he walked past you is not one, but if he might say he was going to try and rush away from you without disengaging, that's when you would get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
So, yeah. So he is going to try and just pummel Trokk with his big mechanical arms.
Box the Trandoshan's ears in. That's what I heard.
Okay. All right, so he failed, which means that no matter what, he's got advantage, but no matter what, that he can't turn that into a hit. So for his advantage, his 2 advantage, he is going to give a blue boost dice to Krizo's action. Basically, Krizo is somehow supported by what the droid is doing.
Okay.
All right, so that's him done. Now, a PC can take an action. So which PC wants to act first?
Trokk can go ahead.
Okay. I think Trokk, already kind of having, like, hands on Krizo. Let's see, how would he do this? So I don't think he would necessarily have his stick in hand. But I think what he would do at this point, and you can tell me how this would play out as a roll. He's being attacked by the droid. He doesn't feel very threatened by it, but he still wants the information from Krizo, but wants to get this droid off him and defend himself. So I think what he's going to do is he's going to take Krizo, he's going to fully pull him over the counter and throw him into the droid.
I'm gonna beat his friend with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not trying to hurt Krizo or whatever. I mean, this is more of that's why I think this would probably be a brawling roll, because I mean, this is just to Trokk, this is him tussling. He's trying to get this information out of Krizo. This droid is attacking him. He wants to basically disengage with the droid, but still, physically, now that it's gone to the physical stage, show Krizo that he could really hurt him if he wants to.
Okay, no worries. So what I'll get you to do is I will get you to make a brawling roll against 2 purple.
Okay. Brawling, 2 purple. Okay, so I got 4 green and 2 purple.
Yeah.
Good God.
All right.
Okay, so you have failed. So you have failed to achieve what you wanted to achieve, but you have got 3 advantage.
Okay.
So with 3 advantage, you can click where it says help spending results, and it will give you some idea about what you could do. So you can see some examples there. You could.
Let's see. Help spending results, GameMaster.
Yeah. You click on that.
Oh, I like that
box
one
there.
where you give the enemy, basically give your opponent a negative modifier. Whereas it's if you were trying to throw Krizo around, now
Okay. So
you've got
since
him
I have
off
3,
balance or something.
so since I have 3 advantages, that's the little symbol with
Little
the
symbol,
wings or
that's
whatever.
right,
Yeah. Okay. It says negate targets defensive bonuses until next round. Ignore environmental penalty. No. Target is disabled until instead of suffering
Yeah,
wounds.
that one requires a hit of actually being delivered. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus melee or ranged defense. Target drops weapon they were wielding.
Does Krizo have any weapons in hand?
I mean, you can see he's got a blaster pistol in his belt, basically.
Okay, but it's not in his hand.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
Well, during the struggle, he could have it
Lose it.
fall out.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
argument that could be made.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you sort of, what I'm gonna say is you grab him, try and pull him. What you end up pulling his coat off him. And his utility belt drops to the ground as well. So you've disarmed him at the same time, as well as taking off his lovely coat.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go next to. So that was. I'll just claim that for you, and then we'll go to Darius. Your turn.
Now, legally speaking,
Yes.
would I get in trouble for destroying a droid?
I mean, it's personal property. It's like it's same property you get in. Same issue of like smashing up somebody's car. They're not they're not regarded as sentient life forms. It's not murder.
Okay, what if
but it
somebody's
is-
trying to run me over with said car?
Oh yeah, like no, it attacked you first. Although once again, there's no cameras in here that you can see. But I mean, it would come down like who started this. Sort of anybody's word at this point in time. But
Okay, then I'm going to take my sword and try and cut off the head of this droid.
Okay, no worries. So what you do is on the left-hand side, there should be a little button which looks like a target, like a archery target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Click on that, then click on the droid to make the droid your target. That's how you've done that. Okay. Open up your sheet, and where you've got your weapon, click on the little bag icon next to your weapon. And that should pop up an attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's against 2 purple. So the W already says 2 purple, so you can just hit roll straight away.
All right.
Okay, so first off, it's a fail to hit, which means you haven't hit him, but you have got a triumph. So you could do something. You can click on help spending results there to see something you could do with a triumph. But for example, you could knock him prone in the process. He can't drop weapons. His weapons are his arms, basically. You could force him back.
I think maybe moving them back give you some
I will
range.
upgrade ability of allied character's next check.
Okay, sorry. So when Trokk, the next person to act with it's you or Trokk will have one of their greens changed to a yellow, or if they're already full yellows, they'll get an extra green dice as well.
All right.
So, and then for the threat, I'm just going to give you 1 strain because effectively, I'll put on the sheet. You've just you hit a metal object with a sword. It reverberated through you a bit.
Okay.
All right.
Even though it's a vibro sword.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm
It was
sure
a bad
you
angle
cut,
on the cut.
Yeah.
I guess.
You cut some of its chassis, so to speak, not functionally, but okay. So, Krizo is going to use a maneuver to disengage, to like get out of Trokk's reach, and then he's going to spend 2 strain to take a second maneuver, and he's going to start running towards the back of
Oh
his
wait,
shot
I can spend 2 strain.
for a second maneuver.
Okay.
Not for a second action, but for a maneuver. Yeah.
Would I have to do that on my turn, or?
Yeah, in fact, actually, what you could have done, because you didn't actually use a maneuver, so you could have actually aimed with your weapon. So do me a favor, just roll a blue dice. So just click on the dice icon, and just roll 1 blue. See if it changes the outcome, because it could have turned.
What
this
dice
into a hit.
icon?
Go ahead, James. You got it better.
Where
than
it
I
says public roll at the bottom of the chat window, there should be a little dice next to it. Yeah,
And just roll a blue.
just 1 blue.
Why am I
Because-
doing this?
Because you could have used your free maneuver to aim with your sword before you attacked. And an aim gives you 1 blue dice. So if you know how to move to draw a weapon or move around, basically just take your maneuver action to aim and get a blue dice on any attack roll.
Okay, what if I wanted to move as well?
Then you would require to spend 2 strain to take a second maneuver. Or you could just not aim. You could wear the miss and then still move normally. But you are engaged with the droid, which means if you move away from it, it will get an attack of opportunity against you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay. So roll a boost die,
Okay, so that didn't change the attack into a hit, so you still missed.
and then
And now-
spend 2 strain to go how far?
Well, if it's disengaged, like maybe 2 squares away, so you're no longer engaged with the droid.
I don't mind giving it an
Okay.
attack of opportunity.
then we can move you right round to around to the side of the counter here, so you're well after Krizo. So
Yeah, I'm
just
going
do
after Krizo.
Cool. I'll just do his attack as you run away. Not run away, but as you move away.
Tactically reposition. Ooh.
Okay. Whoa, that is a big hit.
Jeez.
Man.
6 successes. Okay. So what happens is he adds his
11?
successes. Yeah, it becomes
Yeah.
11 damage. So
Damn.
you have a soak of 3. So you take 8 wounds.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
hit.
big hit.
That dude hits hard. He
So
might
basically,
hit
the
harder
way
than
that
Trokk.
So basically, the way that Gregor got over there is he got hit by the droid and got launched halfway over there.
He didn't walk over there.
Yeah.
He got flung over
You
there.
just got punched by a forklift.
So what's the threat do?
Threat gave him. He took a strain from that.
Okay.
The threat's bad for him. He rolled the threat, not bad for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the end of. That's the end of the. That's the end of the round. So now we go back to the top of the round. So I need to choose an NPC to act. I might actually have Krizo act first. So he is going to move out into his backyard. He's effectively like trying to get into.
Trying to flee.
He's trying to get into a like an airspeeder and get it started up, but he hasn't got it started up yet. Okay, APC can act now. Who wants to act first?
Does Trokk want to act first, or do you want me to go first?
Well, how far can Trokk move?
I mean, there's no strict distance in terms of number of squares. It's just you can move one range band.
Okay.
So right now you're at engaged range band with the droid, and probably medium range band with Gregor.
Okay. So basically, I could move from medium,
Probably to the stairs.
probably to like the stairs, so I would still be, like whatever that is, medium range away from Krizo.
If you go around the counter, it
Yeah.
will take you 2 maneuvers to basically get to the stairs.
Yep.
If you do an athletics check to move over the counter, you could get to the stairs in 1 maneuver.
Okay.
Just don't,
Trokk is good.
Just don't roll a 1 into a 1. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Trokk is good at athletics, so I think what he's going to do is, I mean, the target here is obviously Krizo.
Yeah.
I think, the way that Trokk is looking at this is, the slimy little Rodan or whatever slipped out of his jacket and bolted for the door. Meanwhile, this forklift droid, just punched Gregor into the wall. So
Yeah.
I think at this point, Trokk is going to, do the Dukes of Hazzard slide across the counter,
Right.
disengage from the droid, and go after Krizo.
Okay, well, if you're disengaging, that will be the 2 maneuvers.
So that's the full 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I misunderstood that.
Sorry. So
So
disengaging is a maneuver
disengage,
which separates
Make
you
an
from melee
athletics
combat.
check.
Okay, but it doesn't give him an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, if you just move
Okay.
away to jump over the desk, he will get attack opportunity.
Okay, so yeah, I think he's just going to not disengage. I meant like disengage as in like move away from the fight, but I think his main concern is going after Krizo, so he'll allow for the attack of opportunity.
Okay, nice. Okay, so make the athletics check against two purple.
Okay, athletics, 2 purple. No other dice, no blue dice or anything here.
No, that's right.
So I got a yellow, 2 green, and 2 purple.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, cool. You made it across, and so with your maneuver, that will get you to basically
To
the stairs.
basically like the stairs. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Now I'll just roll for the droid as you
Yep.
move away from it.
I heard that sound.
I heard the oof. Yeah.
Okay,
That was
check fail. That's
amazing.
fine.
Okay. So
Okay,
I'm picturing the droid probably smashing the counter as like Trokk goes by.
Yeah. Now
can I?
you still get your action, so you could make a ranged attack from here. For example, you could spend your action for another maneuver to close into engagement range with the roadie, but not be able to attack it.
Okay. To close within melee range, that does the 2 strain, right?
No, so you get a free maneuver and you get a free action. If you don't,
Okay.
you can convert the action to another maneuver,
Okay.
and you can buy an extra maneuver with 2 strain.
Got it. So can I do the 2 strain to buy the extra movement, close
Yep, and
in,
then
with
attack.
Frieza, and then do like a grapple or
A
whatever.
grapple, yes, you could.
Round?
Yep.
Okay,
Cool.
so let's do that. I'll take the 2 strain.
Yep.
And what would that be? Another brawling roll for?
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to be against 2. But it's going to be with a black. I'm going to use the advantage from Kuchu whacking you to give you a black dice.
Okay. So 2 green. I'm sorry, not 2 green. 4 green, 2 purple, and a black.
In fact, let's turn one of those purples to a red as well.
Oh boy.
dark side
Okay.
effect.
Oh,
Jeepers.
James using those force points. Now you can spend a force point to flip that back. Am I right?
Well, you could make another green into a yellow.
Okay. Yeah, you might want to consider that.
Okay.
You see the numbers better because you have the dialogue box open.
Yeah, I think I will do that. I'll basically lose a green, but I gain a yellow.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
correct.
lose a green, gain a yellow. So now I have a yellow, 3 green, a red, a purple, and a black.
It's a brawl check, isn't it? Don't you already have a yellow? Oh, you don't have a yellow in brawl. Okay. All right.
No,
that's
I'm
correct then, yes.
I'm more
Melee.
melee than I am.
That's it.
Armed
Yeah.
melee than a fisticuffs.
Yeah, armed melee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Rolling.
Okay, so you succeeded. So I'm going to say you've grappled him and pulled him out of the air car. I'm going to give you 3 strain just from him, kicking at you, like bludgeoning damage as he's trying to free himself from your grip.
He managed to get the flat of his foot across your lizard jaw. Jeez, I can't speak. Lizard chin.
Yep.
All right,
Lizard
Darius.
chin. My next metal album.
I want to move up to shit, what's his name?
Frieza?
I can't see it on the screen.
To the Rhodian?
Yeah.
Frieza.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's
Frieza.
a maneuver will get you there.
I want to move up to Krizo, hold my vibro sword to his neck, and say, "Call off your droid."
Okay, no worries. Give me a coercion check. I'm going to give you 2 blue boost dice from the fact he's grabbed and you've got a sword out. It's against 3 purple.
Can I assist with the coercion at all?
You
Or
already
back
are.
that up?
You're grappling him. That's
Okay,
I'm
okay.
already. I'm
You're
giving
already
you 1
counting
blue
for
for that you've grappled and 1 blue for that you've got
Okay, so it's up against what?
3 purple, and you're adding 2 blue.
2 blue.
Yeah.
Okay. So a yellow, a green, 3 purple, and 2 blue.
Yeah. Oh, the blue helps, don't we? Okay. Yep. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, yep. I think that by getting close and threatening with the sword, you also cop some kicks before he finally. So that would put you, because you were 2 before, would be on 3, so you'd be on.
Stop
6
resisting!
now.
Stop resisting! Call off your droid! Stop resisting! Okay, fine.
Yeah. But yeah, you seem to have intimidated him. So at the next point, basically, so that the droid acts next. It basically just sort of comes coming around the corner going negative, 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 negative.
I'm suddenly reminded of the Inquisit Servo Skull. Sorry, James, go ahead.
Indeed, the Rhodian shouts something in Huttese, Kuchu Nawarakili, and the droid sort of stops and goes into a passive stance, and that ends the combat.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
I think at this
And-
point, Trokk will stand him up on his feet, pick him up by whatever shirt he has left or whatever, and just brush off the dust on the Rhodian. Just say, "See, we could be civil."
From the guy who barged into his shop and just jerked him right over the bar and started a fight.
And I think this is probably a good time.
I think so, too.
Yep.
Do this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This is indeed a good time to start our wrap up.
Yep.
The session wrap up or whatever we need to conclude with. James, you still have the reins, so I don't know. Do you want to throw some XP at us, or how's that work exactly?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so what I'll do, because everyone's still in the thing, I can actually go straight into the group manager, and I can award 20 XP to everybody
And where does
Done.
that show up on the character sheet?
In your
On
biography,
your
tab,
biography. Yeah.
you'll see available in
Got it.
total.
Okay. So I have
So how do we?
so I have 130 spent, and I have 20 currently available now.
Yeah, we have 110 spent. You've got
Well,
you've earned 130 overall because you
Yeah,
had the 110
yeah.
for being human, and then you haven't spent 20.
More or less the same as Warhammer and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do we feel, guys, after the first session?
Pretty good.
Are you sure? Because you lost a lot of hit points.
You got trucked real hard by a forklift.
Yeah. Next time, let Trokk be the one that stays in melee range.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Trokk, who wants to just
Also-
barge in and grab a dude and be like, "We're fighting,"
Hey,
because
I
you're gonna
mean,
give us some shit.
that is a formal civilized greeting in
That's high
Intro
society
Dash
for
and Consular.
Trandoshan.
that's high
It's-
society right there.
It's his fault for being unaware of your
yes,
polite
being
Trandoshan
unaware.
customs.
Yeah.
So uncultured.
So cultured, so uncivilized. Oh man, James, that was a great session, and personally, can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, well, I spent a long time getting a lot of stuff ready, and we got through maybe 15% of it.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I know I did some stuff and said some stuff that might have been a little disraeli. I'll take my hits where needed, but I hope for the comedic side of it, or the entertaining side of it, it was good.
It's good. It's always hard to tell with any, especially with it like a relatively new group too, how much role play you'll get versus just we go here and do this, we go here and do this.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so it was good to sort of like play that and get a feel for the characters. I certainly know in the other Star Wars game I'm running right now, the group is still finding their feet as how to role play in the Star Wars universe. You know, like especially when Edge of the Empire becomes a sandbox, where it's like, okay, you've got a ship and your crew. What do you want to do? You know, and they're sort of like, oh well, hold on a sec, aren't we being led around by the nose anymore?
No, you're done with the
so-
tutorial stage.
That's it.
You've escaped your execution. Now you got to decide which road you want to walk down.
I saw a dragon. Sorry.
Sorry.
So we do
Yeah,
some-
no, it was good. I really like the the role playing aspect. I mean, I'm a role player more than anything else, more than dice mechanics or anything like that. I'm especially the role player. I know that I think that'll, based on what I've learned about the system so far, I think that'll feed well into the narrative portion of it, especially once I get used to the these dice rolls mean this type of thing. From the that's something I can definitely lean into a lot. Like I remember the example you used in session 0 was, okay, you shoot the blaster, your blaster at the enemies in the elevator, you miss, but you hit the controls type thing. That's something that I can really kind of, I think, lean into some creative situations there from using that mechanic. So yeah, part of the slowdown was just role playing a bit, but also just getting familiar with the mechanics. So I think this was definitely a good first session, getting to know the environment, our own characters, each other's characters, and looking forward to the next one.
I think that's one thing. Me personally, when I look at the games I play and the games I stream, I got no problem taking a few extra minutes here and there, or longer if needed, really, to not just for the players, but for the viewers as well, to learn or show how the mechanics, or in this case, how a dice pool is put together, which I still haven't figured out for the life of me. I can barely interpret the results once somebody tells me what I'm rolling. But one thing I've always believed is, like, for the viewer, because I've come to YouTube looking for how other people run their games. And I imagine some of my viewers may come in that same context. So I want to be able to show people, this is how you do this is how this is done, or this is how this is interpreted. So I personally appreciate that. And one cool thing about James is he usually gives a pretty decent explanation or example or what have you on how things are done. I'll figure these dice out eventually, but for right now, I'm definitely, just tell me what I need to roll and I'll figure it out. The narrative side is what is actually really fun for me. My content and my stories, my games, I'm much more about the narrative side, and we'll just do a handful of dice rolls when necessary. A good fight scene's always cool, and that's going to require a lot more dice rolling than any other scene. But if you could talk your way as a player in and out of a scene, then you don't really need a whole lot of dice rolls. I think just a couple for the big resolution ones or big effects.
Yeah. And Kane, you're a forever Star Wars GM. Feel good to play?
It does feel good to play. Like it's the consequences of the roles, and the different kind of investment in the character. That's sort of a thing that every DM who gets to be a player gets to experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I am really looking forward to only having one character in a campaign.
I love the way he thinks he won't die.
I'm really looking forward to only having one character at a time in a campaign.
There you go. There you go.
Speaking of dying, that was a big hit on Gregor. I mean, what was that for wounds?
It was like
11
11 wounds.
11 wounds.
Out of 12.
Eight after soak, yeah. So just to give you an idea of how close you are or you aren't to death. So when you drop to 0 wounds, you don't die. When you drop to 0 wounds, you take a critical hit, and you fall unconscious. And the critical hit can kill you, but let's say for example you've done 16 wounds, and you took of your 3, so you took 13, so you've got 1 over. So you would take a critical hit at +10, okay, on a D100. You've got to roll like 130 plus to receive a fatal injury. So like just running out of wounds is not sure death. It's just like sure unconsciousness.
Yeah.
But at the same token, weapons can cause crits without needing to get through. So if you get sufficient enough advantage on your attack roll, and you've hit, you can use that advantage to trigger your weapon's crit rating, which means along with doing damage, you get a free roll on the critical hit table, which may incapacitate your opponent in other ways than just taking off their wounds.
Hit points?
Yeah.
You don't need hit points when you hit them dead in the forehead.
Yeah. One thing I liked with Star Wars Saga Edition was the fact they had vitality and wounds. And vitality was like, a high level character has like 100 vitality, but you've only ever got like 10 wounds. And the idea is that when you're fighting, losing vitality isn't being hit, it's being worn down. Yeah. And once you're out of vitality, you then start getting hit. So what that means is that somebody still dies to like 1 blaster shot or 1 lightsaber swing, because that's what takes them out. It's not the sort of the minutes of parrying before that. You don't, by the same token, get hit 16 times with a lightsaber before you go down. So,
Darius, I think you were getting ready to say something there.
I can wait until after we stop recording.
Okay. Any final comments before we do our goodbyes? Or let's just do this. Let's say this. Outros. Kane, go ahead.
I like how in the Discord we decided that we were 2 different groups that came together, and we are playing this game as 2 different parties.
I definitely, as a player or as a character, I almost said something about that in one of my lines. I forget exactly what I said, but I said something like, "And that's why half the crew is dead." And I'm just gonna shut up right there and go back to doing whatever it was I was doing. Yeah, I do like how the character dynamics are starting to work out. I also really just wanted to play a cocky, surefire, hotshot pilot that can shoot every now and again, and maybe do a little bit of FaceTime.
Yep.
Well, right. My final thought is, let me just point out, by the way, that because obviously we're doing this on Saturdays, is that this year May the 4th is a Saturday.
Oh, nice. Oh,
there you go.
Now watch, and that'll also be a Pendragon night, so we're going to start 30 minutes later, too. I digress. Any finals?
My final thought, just going back to what Kane was saying about us being 2 different groups before coming together and then kind of splitting up. And I like that, though, from the cinematic feel of it. It feels very Star Wars. Not all the I know role playing, you never split the party, whatever, the whole D&D mantra, thing, but it feels very natural. It felt very Star Wars-ish. Like you guys are going off doing your tech stuff in the Starbucks or
we're
whatever.
Doing our nerdy stuff.
And that does the Star Wars side, the side swipe, to Gregor and Trokk, reaching over to the counter.
Look, it will not be Star Wars unless the very final encounter of the game has some of you in a space battle, some of you in a lightsaber fight, and some of you in a ground battle.
That's exactly how you do it. That's exactly how you do it.
All right. Yep, Trokk will definitely be in the lightsaber battle. the electric stick.
Well, that or Gregor. But Darius, any final thoughts before we wrap?
I had fun.
Well, that's always a plus.
Yep.
All right, my friends, we are out of here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it. If you enjoy the show, please consider all the likes and subscribes and all the other buttons that are out there. But the one most important to me is the Discord link in the description for this video, or !Discord for the live stream chat. Live chat, stream live chat. I don't know, whatever the words are. But yeah, just come on down to the Discord, hang out with us, talk shit with us. Always welcome, and always enjoy having new members. So please come on down. In the meantime, what do I got going on? I'm going to be doing some Warhammer stuff tomorrow with two of the people on this screen here. And then Monday, the Solasta crew is no more, so I'm working on the next, putting stuff together for the next project that will probably be a Monday show. It may be a Wednesday show. We haven't quite narrowed it down yet. And then Tuesday, of course, with Kane, Along the Frontier, an Alien RPG campaign. We'll be going back out to
War crimes.
War crimes. I love it. That's a callback from like episode 3, I think. Let's see. And then other than that, we got the Greyland Trios League moving into the postseason. I got to sit down with my kid and figure out what he's doing with his team so we can get that started up and taken care of, and then we can move further into the postseason tournament. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble, starting to lose my train of thought. So let's get out of here. Stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a dark and crazy place. So make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. And come back next week. We'll have more stuff. We're out of here. Have a good one, my friends.
Support everyone OnlyFans.
Nope. Not a thing.